Ooh, that's a pretty good price. A 65-inch Sharp HDR TV, $500 shipped. That's pretty good.
4K?
4K, yeah.
Ooh,
4K
yeah.
HDR.
Jeez.
65-inch, $500.
Okay. Stuff and things are coming up here. See, the stream works differently. I'm gonna have to figure this out.
Oh boy.
Figure it out.
See, it used to do another tab, and when you clicked on it...
Thanks, Jason.
What's the deal? Look, why can't I...
Sorry, can I just say something?
Yeah.
What's up?
I'll definitely try to keep the costing to a minimum, but
Yeah,
that being
please do.
said, people cost a shitload to
Yeah,
say.
Well,
did.
yeah.
He did.
But we actually mark those episodes specifically as explicit.
Yeah.
But we try not
Thanks,
to.
Trace.
Gotcha. Hey, if people can do it, I mean, I was like listening to the whole podcast. I'm like, whoa, dude, Mike, calm down. Don't
Yeah,
you know?
dude, that guy's crazy.
Yeah, dirty man.
Okay, this is what I don't understand, Matt. This does it
Yes.
differently. Where are you getting the link to the show? Because it doesn't give me the option to go watch on view page anymore.
Yeah, no, I just grabbed the picture, grabbed the HTML
What HTML?
at the top in your HTML bar, your
Okay.
address bar
Of what?
of your website.
Of what
of
website?
YouTube. I go to YouTube.
You go to YouTube and you do what?
Yeah,
I used
here.
to click on live streaming, then I'd go to the separate tab where it showed we were going live.
See, I just sent it to you.
Where did you find it, though, is what I'm asking you.
I literally just grabbed it from the web address.
Okay, if I go to the web address, it says youtube.com/live-dashboard. How did you get to the page that had the video on it?
Oh, I go to YouTube to Brograph tutorials, and then it pops up like live now. So I click on that one.
Right, it says live now. But the problem is, I used to go to live streaming, and there would be a separate tab.
Oh,
And I would go to
inside
this
the
separate
thing?
tab in our studio, and I could say view and watch page. That disappeared after they changed some stuff last week, and I had to redo the stream. And now the other problem is that when that happens, when we're done with the show, I can't find it in our library anymore.
That's weird.
I don't understand why that happens.
No idea. Thanks, Rick Bogus. Hearts. Oh yeah, you guys can't see me. Or I'll make some hearts on here. Some emojis. Let's see.
And like, it's not in our video manager anymore. And I emailed YouTube, and they're like, "Did you see if you reset your cookies, clear your cache?" Like, oh my god, you guys are stupid. On that dongle at that point, like, that's it.
Here's
Like,
some hearts. I found some hearts. Hearts, hearts, hearts.
So
Hearts.
everything, like our live dashboard has everything in it now except the actual link to the stream. That's the dumbest
Weird.
thing. Like, why wouldn't you put a link to the stream somewhere in your own feed? You don't see
No
it.
idea.
It doesn't pull up on videos. So,
Do a show.
So I can't. I don't have a link to the show.
I just
what
sent
I'm
you a
trying
link to the
figure
show.
out.
I sent it in Skype chat. You want me to send it out to the
No, hold on. I gotta make
the
sure
bat
this is
channel.
working right. I think something is not working correctly. Just hold on one second, because I might have to turn off this stream and do it again.
Oh boy. Yeah, right. I'm 21 today. That's right. I'm gonna go get crunk. That's what the kids are saying today, right? Crunk?
Are you 21 today?
Today, I guess.
Happy birthday, man.
No, I'm 36 today.
Alright.
I'm in my late 30s, which is
You're
so
36
depressing.
today, though. Today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, man.
Thanks. Late 30s. It's pretty depressing. Like 35 was a good year because I'm like, all right, mid 30s, that's fine. Now late 30s, it's just
Yeah.
like straight up on its way to its 40s.
God
which I'm,
damn, dude.
man, if I hit 40, I
If
don't know
you
what
hit
to do.
40.
when Yeah, post-apocalyptic world, you know.
Right.
Antibiotic superbug.
You never know.
The Yellowstone killing us all.
Yellowstone most of
I think that's probably the biggest threat.
Aneurysm, but most likely Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Not wishing anything on you, but maybe Yellowstone most likely. But dude, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I hit 30, and I feel like I hit the cliche existential crisis. I can't imagine 35.
30 was good. 30 was good. Because I finally bought a house, got a good job, and had a kid.
Settled as fuck.
Yeah. Now I'm 36. And it's like there's nothing else to look forward to. Except death, right?
It's down the hill from here, boys. Yeah.
I don't know. When you turn 250, you're allowed to rent ultra porn. According to Futurama.
Hey Jason, how's freelance life? Stressful.
Do you guys want me to share the link, or do you mind if I do? Or...
No, go ahead.
All right. I'm just wondering if the link is going to be the same, because he was saying. Because
oh no, we're good. We're good. I got it going. I'm gonna have to figure that out after the show. I don't know what's going on there. At least we got the link though, so we're good.
Yeah,
okay. Let's make sure we're recording.
Oh yeah? Get it done, Rick Bogus. So many viewers? 19? Is that a lot?
Already? Good.
Yeah. When will you
check?
start?
1 2 1 2 1 2 check.
Hopefully soon, like within the next
starting
minute.
in like a minute.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's trying.
Ooh, he's trying.
Oh, hey, there we are.
Okay.
Is the music still on?
Yes, but I can hear the music now. So
What about the
I
metronome?
don't make that mistake anymore.
Is the metronome off?
Can you hear the metronome?
Oh, I was just curious. I hear the music.
No, metronome's on. I'm recording already, so you'd hear it. All right. I'm recording.
Let me just share this.
Sweet, do it.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. No worries.
Okay. Just want to share this before we start. All right, all good.
Why do you wear a hat at home? Because my hair looks awful right now. Here, I'll show you.
Oh, jeez. Put that
Me
back.
as well.
Put that back. Oh, my
You like
God.
that?
Put that back.
Yeah, just do that.
Yeah.
That's fine. And I enjoy this hat because it's kind of colder weather, and it's comfortable.
Advertising the Maxon,
Jesus, repping that Cinema 4D.
Heck yeah.
That's right.
That's the way I do it.
All right, Matt, are you rolling?
Yeah, I've been rolling for like 10 minutes now.
Oh,
I'll start over.
Okay.
So you don't have to go through all that BS. Justin, so Dave will start the show. He'll say, "Hi, I'm Dave," and I'll say, "Hi, I'm Matt." Then I'll introduce you, and you say, "What up?" And then
I'll go into my spiel.
He'll go into his spiel, and then we'll start the show.
Sounds good. Hit record right now, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and hit record. We're gonna do a sync, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, clap.
Okay, right now.
And as soon as
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Justin, did you clap too?
Did you do it?
I did.
Oh, okay. I forgot your mic is. We can't see your mic in this shot.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
didn't see your hands. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, cool.
What do I do with my hands?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
How's that for you?
There we go.
Got my Blue Yeti and pop filter.
Nice.
Should I show off my mic just to?
No,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
fine. I was just saying I couldn't see you clap.
That's funny.
Might want to. Yeah, there you go. All right. I think we are ready to go. We're rolling. We got all our
Let's do it.
stuff streaming. We got the people in here. All the feeds look good.
The viewer count might go up when I share my link. Just saying.
Do it. Yeah, you got like a bazillion followers now, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, guys. I'm kind of a big shot, so the viewer count might go up a tiny bit.
Kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal. Just saying, you know.
I have many leather-bound books.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Definitely not, but yeah, that'd be nice.
Nah, Liam, I sent you guys that picture of me with a shaved head. I didn't look too good.
Yeah.
But Dave's gonna do it.
Liam, I might be joining you.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about it. I don't know.
Yeah, he's gonna do it.
My daughter would be freaked out, I bet.
Probably.
All right, let's get this thing going. You guys ready?
Yep.
Ready?
All right, here we go.
Ready.
What up, bros? Welcome to another Brograph Brocast. I'm Dave.
I'm Matt, and joining us today, all the way from Toronto, Canada. I'm gonna say it wrong, but I'm gonna say it with a French accent.
Oh,
so
boy.
here we go. Justin Leduc.
What
Did I say it
up?
right?
What up?
Yeah.
Yeah, close enough. Close enough.
And Brograph is a
We've been
supplement
over
to our
this.
site, brograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with plugins, tutorials, podcasts, and other MoGraph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. And you can email us, brograph@brograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show and send us your comments and feedback. We'd love to hear from you, not just the Slack channel. We'd love to hear those emails. They're great. They're great. Send us your topics. Let us know what you want to hear about. It could be anything ranging from technical questions. It could be stuff that has to do with contracting industry and dealing with clients. Whatever it is, if there's something that's on your mind, let us know. Send us that.
Or if you've got a guest you'd like us to contact
Yeah,
and maybe get
totally.
on the show, let us
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. So, the week, there's a lot of stuff going on this week. I know everybody kind of in general who is in this industry is probably working on stuff for the holidays. Like Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know. I've
and-
heard a few people say that they're actually really slow.
Really?
In December.
Well, see,
I'm
even
like,
Liam
I've never
said
seen
he's
it.
super busy because he didn't even do a live stream last week. He was so busy.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I'm gonna try and do one if I have a piece of like I don't know, like something from one of these projects that I'm building. I might do
Yeah.
that live on the stream at some point. Who knows? It could even
Yeah.
be today. You never know. I might just leave this stuff up and stream later.
Do it.
I'm gonna be doing a little bit of modeling and stuff like that this week, so you never know.
Yep.
So, and by the way, it's Matt's birthday.
Yay.
Yay!
Happy
My
birthday, dude.
birthday. Thanks,
Woo.
dude. I'm
So happy
old.
birthday.
I'm an old man now.
Get yourself
Hey.
something nice. Get yourself something nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what you told me on my birthday. I
That's
never
the hardest
did it, though.
thing. That's the hardest thing about a December birthday.
Mhm.
You know, you get some money in for your birthday from like your family and stuff, but then like you got to buy presents for everyone, so you just end up spending all your birthday money on people's presents for Christmas. It's like whatever.
Mhm.
All right.
So I got a lot of week wrap up stuff that we are going to talk about, but and then we're going to get into some of the other stuff we want to talk about today, like Justin's work. We do want to preface it by saying if you don't know who Justin is,
Mm-hmm.
we have to we're going to not use that one word. We'll talk about that later.
No, we'll use the
But
word.
he did that one video.
We'll just discuss it. We'll just discuss it.
The video, if you've seen the video with the giant dude,
Monster.
monster.
Yeah.
We won't say the other word until later. That is at the Golden Gate Bridge, kind of like in the water, like hovering over the Golden Gate Bridge. Then you know who he is. And that thing went
Nice way to
viral.
put it.
Like to an extreme to where, like, my friends were posting it on Facebook because, hey, check this out. It wasn't even motion graphics. It broke the boundaries of motion.
It broke
graphics.
new grounds.
Yeah.
Yep. It
So
broke the internet.
So we're gonna talk about that a little bit.
Like a Kim Kardashian magazine.
What level? Yeah, exactly.
So I did tell you it's Matt's birthday. I'm looking at my I lost my place in my notes here.
Way to go.
Trying to, one of the things, see, like doing the live, like another live stream later, I'm trying to like put everything into one day, because when I'm scheduling things, I feel like I break up my day too often, and I end up not getting anything done. It's kind of that whole concept of when you start a task, there's kind of a ramp up time and ramp down time, and you need that time or else you don't really get into what you're doing. So it's like if you're working on a project and you only get to work in like 30-minute or 1-hour chunks and people are calling you and emailing you, that's super frustrating. You can't get anything done. And so what I do is, honestly, I try to leave the house as little as possible, but there are things that you got to do. You got to go to the store to get the things that you can't get on Amazon Prime. And you got to run errands, and you got to go pick up your kids. You got to do all this kind of stuff, you know. And on certain days, I try to pick one day. I might have talked about this on the show before, but I take my list of things that I have to do for the week, and I try and put them into one day. Because if I'm gonna, let's say, here's an example: 2 o'clock in the afternoon is a bad time to schedule anything. Why is that? Yeah. Well, I work super late. And so I will wake up at about 9 and get some coffee and sit down and read my emails and figure out what I'm going to do for the day and really get going at about 10 o'clock. And by the time I get that momentum going, if I have to be somewhere at 2, well, then you got to eat lunch. So it's like 12:30. You do that. You get in the car. You go to where you have to be at 2. That usually lasts till 4 for some reason. You're driving around. DFW is huge. So you do that. Yep. And then at that time, traffic's starting to get bad because it's almost 5, and then you get back, and then, oh, it's almost dinner time, and you sit down at your desk, and by the time you ramp back up, it's 7 o'clock. Yeah. And so then you work all night again. So I've been really trying to compact everything and really think about that in advance. What's coming up this week? What thing do I have to do, and what day is that? Because that's when I'm going to tell all my other clients, hey, let's do that phone call. Let's do that meeting on site. Let's get in that conference call. Let's regroup on this thing or whatever it is. And it seems like it helps a lot, because if I don't have like a full day, like today, for example, right? I kind of rule out Mondays as a day to get anything done. And now it's not that I don't get anything done on Mondays, because after the show, we wind down. I probably get some lunch. I come back to my desk, but the day is almost over by the time the show is over. So I kind of rule out Mondays. So I don't know. It's just something I've been working on. I don't know how the two of you handle that.
I find it interesting that you try and do all your traveling in one day. See, I don't know. If I've got to do any errands, I always wait until after I pick up my kid. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't ever do any errands during the day because it just knocks me out of work. You know? Yeah. Like, the only thing that I'll do is maybe go deposit my check, because if I do it after hours, it's going to take 2 days to clear.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, but when you have a kid, sometimes it's harder to get those things done. That's the only drawback. But
just stick him in the back. Tell him to play on the iPad.
Just put him in front of a device, in front of a screen, whatever. Yep. No big deal.
Modern parenting, am I right, guys?
It's the best, dude. Yeah. You got a built-in babysitter right there.
Oh my gosh. Oh. But Matt, you upgraded our Dropbox a little bit this week, and it was surprisingly easy.
I gotta give Dropbox its dues, because while we've had lots of problems with Dropbox in the past, this one was actually pretty easy. Dave moved over a whole bunch of like our projects that we had on another hard drive over to like our actual business Dropbox one, and it ended up filling up our entire Dropbox. We've got like 11 terabytes of Dropbox, and now it's all full.
And we're grandfathered in, so we have unlimited, so we can call at any time and say, just give us more gigs.
Yeah,
or terabytes.
Which is really nice. So like, I was surprisingly able to find online a phone number to call, which I had never been able to find that before. So I found a number to call, and I called them up, and I was like, "Hey, I need more space." And they're like, "All right, how much do you need?" 3 terabytes. Okay, cool. Here you go. Like literally, the conversation was over in less than 5 minutes, which was fantastic. And then it automatically updated, and we didn't run into any of the issues that we have in the past where it's like resyncing and having to re-index everything. It just worked. And that was it was very nice and very convenient. So
Justin,
shout out to Dropbox.
What do you back up with?
I don't do huge. I mean, I have a physical hard drive here for my backups, but really, I for any cloud purposes, for any cloud backup, really, I won't upload anything too heavy. You guys must not use WeTransfer, I'm guessing. If you guys have this amount of limit on Dropbox, there's no point in using a different system, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that's a crazy amount of data. Jesus
I know.
Christ.
It's nice. It's like our entire like library, you know,
for
everything.
sure.
Yeah.
And not too long after I got into 3D, I started realizing how heavy 3D was, how much data you needed. That's insane. I got a 1 terabyte for my internal hard drive. I thought that would last me a long time. I genuinely thought, well, a hobbyist just doing work on Instagram, I don't need that much data whatsoever. My God, I'm reaching my limit. I've got like 40 gigs left on my hard drive.
And then you start getting into like monster sims with X particles and Houdini and stuff like that. And it's like, all right, I need an 8 terabyte drive.
That's why it's so great, the Dropbox thing, because we have like a server with a hard drive that syncs everything. But on our work machines that we actually work on, we can selective sync the things we want. So if we finish a giant project, it basically, you right click and say online only and archive it, and it just disappears off your work machine so that you have, you know, space.
And it's great
it's on the other
because you got
machines.
basically built-in versioning control. So if like it says, do you want to save? And you're like, maybe, sure. Okay, I'll just go ahead and save. If I need to go back to an older one, I will.
Yeah, when you leave your machine up and you forget, like if you saved it and if you meant to like not save it on purpose, sometimes you open something and you don't want to save it. Yeah, so if you accidentally go over it and overwrite it, you can right click on it and do versioning and just put it back, and Dropbox will reload it back onto your computer.
Yeah, it's pretty convenient.
It's been pretty nice with all this massive amounts of data. Those caches, man, it's so great though. You got a crazy cache and you don't want it, you right click and archive it, and then you could just bring it back anytime.
Yep.
God damn. Yeah. It's definitely...
So Dropbox, Deadline, and Fusion. So we've been doing a lot of software stuff this week. We have. Yeah. We bought. Did we buy the? We're going to, or we did. Did we buy the 2 copies of Deadline yet?
No, I haven't done that yet. Like so like Gurnge really like scared me.
Gurnge had a problem.
Yeah, he like had some like crazy issues where he spent 2 days trying to get Deadline to work. And the thing is, he could get it working on one, and I've got it set up actually on my system now, you know, but like you would need to get it set up on yours, and then we need to do all this work. I figured it's not a big deal right now, you know, to get that
Fusion working first and make sure we can do it locally. Yeah, because we're doing this new project in Fusion just to see if we can do it.
Yep.
And we're going to try and schedule. So we got 2 versions of Deadline, or we're going to get 2 versions of Deadline. We're going to get 2 copies of Fusion. Those are on the way. I didn't realize you had to have a dongle for the full copy of Fusion with the color correction stuff. So dongles.
Oh, is that the Octane approach?
It's the Octane approach.
It's the new approach.
Yeah. I mean,
the new way to fight price.
I'm gonna make a shirt. I'm gonna make a secret shirt that has a dongle and a big X sign over it. No dongles.
Or you could do like, you know, you could be like hipster and be like, no, dongles are coming back.
Yeah,
you just embrace it. Embrace the dongle.
Yeah. If I could just get a dongle for my Creative Cloud, my Adobe Creative Cloud, that'd be fantastic.
Didn't Apple start the trend, right? Yet again, Apple starts the trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the new normal. I was listening to the Jules interview last night, and he said that many users are using VM, virtual machines, to run Octane to get around the license.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm just curious, like, really? Do people really go through all that trouble just to save $20 a month?
I know it's so cheap in general, like compared to other things. It's not like it's some crazy $20,000 piece of software.
Yeah, and especially now, like the $20 a month that you're paying for, like to be able to render 20 GPUs, and also like you can do network rendering and stuff like that. I don't know.
Damn, how far are you gonna go to save $20 a month? Am I
Dude,
that
you know what?
lazy? I'm just
Pirates-
lazy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Pirates are the worst.
Yeah,
You know? And I think I can't remember who it was that I saw on Twitter the other day was pointing something out. Anytime you complain about a licensing issue, the reason that licensing issue exists is because pirates are trying to steal the software. So
Right.
if there were no pirates, all this stuff would be very simple.
There's always going to be, but I feel like some companies really have it down.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we can talk about games also, the DRMs. I mean, we can open this kind of worms real good, but yeah, maybe not get into it too much too, because I have a lot of things to say about it. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I still find piracy as this thing where a teenager can learn the software in his on his mom's computer, and then later buy it, and then later he works for a company and then tells that company, hey, I know that software, let's buy it. And there you go. And that's my experience, if I may say.
Like,
everything I own
so
right now
many-
is legal. But
That is why Photoshop is a verb.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but like, and I think a lot of software companies realize that, and that's why like every single one of them has an educational version. You know, even like the most expensive ones like Nuke. You know, there's a free version of it that people can use in order to learn it. You know, I even now, like the last one that was holding out was V-Ray. You know, V-Ray for C4D. There is now that Chaos Group took it over, you can actually give it a trial now. You know, and it's like, I don't know. it's there's no reason to pirate anymore. There's no reason. Oh, okay. Actually, I'll take that back.
Oh damn!
No. This is funny. This is really funny.
Yes,
because
we are opening this.
Someone in the Slack. I'm not gonna name names. You know, but they bought a piece of like a big model pack, right? They bought a big model pack, and the download speed was like awful, just absolutely awful. So they went and pirated it and got it in like a minute or two, the entire thing. You know, it's like, okay. Dave, did we lose you? Uh-oh, we lost Dave.
Yeah, you lost me. Hold on one second.
Dave's not here, man.
Am I still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay.
Dave's not. He's fixing everything.
Dave's not here, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We just can't see you.
You can't see me. That's weird. Okay, hold on. Okay. I'm back.
Okay. There we go. Now you got to redo the thing where I just
redo the thing.
Yeah. Welcome to the live show. It's always a fun time here.
Hi, everybody. Let's see what's going on here.
There we go. Okay.
What up? And Brograph is a supplement to our...
Wait, what?
No, I was playing back. Sorry.
Okay.
I had a little recording issue too. I'm glad that actually happened because... Okay. So I need to keep an eye on that. I really need to fix my recording computer. It's...
Yeah, you do.
Not doing too well. Okay, so... Marker.
Okay.
So there's also an octane. There's an octane thing this week. What was it with? Okay, somebody posted. No, oh gosh, we got to talk about that. I don't have that in my notes.
Duh.
Okay. So when somebody posted something on the Octane Facebook group this week, a lot of people got into this conversation. Someone was talking about not being able to afford a graphics card. So somebody posted, "Oh, we got like 17 1080 Ti's, and we're gonna load this all up here at my job or whatever it is." And this one person was like, "Yeah, but how can you afford all that stuff? You must be rich." And it's like, not necessarily. I mean, it's just a numbers game, right? Because you start as a graphic designer from the beginning and try and get some clients, and maybe you have like a really cheap card, and then you get a couple gigs, and another graphics card is only be like $800, which are lots of people's day rate.
And that is if you're buying one of these like monster
cards
ones.
Sorry guys, sorry to cut you off. That's hilarious. $800. Come on. Not here in Canada, that's for sure. But
yeah, that's true.
Come on.
Yeah.
I literally just spent $2,000 on my 2080. Just saying.
Ooh, man.
Yeah,
just saying. Not $800 everywhere.
Yeah. Wait, now did you get a TI?
No, not even a TI. That's the thing.
It's $800 in Toronto. Why?
2,000. That's 2,000 loonies. Let's see.
Yeah, with taxes, and everything. I just bought a whole new computer. Excited to build it. I'm getting it this week. But yeah, so
that's $1,500 US.
But see, again, it's a numbers game. It's all a numbers game. You start with what you can afford, and and I say only $800 lightly because $800 is $800. But when you're working and making a day rate and you start making a little money and you save it, you get a better graphics card, and then you do better work faster, and then you get more. And
Nick and I were talking about this. Pickle Nick, his official name is Pickle Nick, by the way.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, we did a poll in the Slack channel.
He's the guy who we've been mentoring, who's been working in my office with me. I told him, I said, you could do the $20 a month Octane, and he's got a gaming computer, but it doesn't have a very good graphics card. It's got like a 750 Ti, which will technically run Octane at like a 35 Octane bench. And it was like, just look online. You can find a 1060 6 gig really cheap. And he found one for $160. Like, that's nothing. That's nothing.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying, because the person came back, they're like, yeah, but then, you always have to upgrade your hardware and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, but if you buy a 1080 Ti for $160 right now used, that's going to last you a long time.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. If you don't have $160, then what are you doing? And then the guy's like, well, I don't do this for a living. I do this on the side. Well, that's understandable. But like, if you're doing this for a living, you can get enough gear to get by on a small budget until you establish yourself. So saying that somebody's rich, that doesn't make any sense, because there is a cost of doing business. And honestly, if you take how much money you can make as a motion graphics designer in a year, and then you subtract the cost of one graphics card, that's not going to be that bad.
It's negligible.
I'll be real with you guys. If graphic cards were $800 a year, I would have 4 2080s in my computer right now.
Yeah, and it's going to take longer, and it's unfortunate that that's how it is in other countries. But Billy in the chat room did say that he's 10 minutes from the Detroit, Ontario border crossing. So he'll toss one. He'll toss it over the barrier to you.
Please,
Billy, can you throw a football well?
I could throw a football over them
mountains. Wish I could go back. I'd make state.
Coach, just put me in.
So, I understand. I understand what the guy's getting at, but it's like, dude, the guy posted something from his work. They're doing probably massive projects there, and they bought 8 1080s. That's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah. And if you're able to also charge it out to a client or something like that.
Yeah.
1080 Ti is what, $400-$500 maybe times 17. What is that? I don't know.
We've done this not a bunch, but a couple times when we got
$8,500. That's nothing.
Yeah, and when we got a big project coming up, and say somebody gets in touch with us, we got like a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 project. Then that's a good time where we're like, you know what, this would be a good time to invest in like 4 more cards or build a new system. We've done that before. It's like, well, this is only going to be, X amount of % of the budget. Let's go ahead and buy another computer with this, because we're still going to profit from this. It'll help our project go faster, and then we'll have another machine.
Or if you can render it on site for, if you've got the power to be able to render it on site, but you can also, get away with charging for like render services and stuff, then do it. You can use that money towards, more cards for yourself.
There are ways. All right, what else is on the agenda here? I told you I might do a possible live stream. Liam, I don't know if Liam will probably be next week. I usually text him and find out. I haven't talked to him. Since he missed a date, I don't know what his plans are. I think he's in chat anyway, so he might tell us on there. He did shave his head.
Right.
Liam shaved his head, and I might join.
I think you should. Just give it a try.
I don't know.
Nothing
We'll see.
feels better in the world than a freshly shaved head in the winter.
True.
Like you shave
That's
your
not
head,
what Dr. Evil said. He's talking
and you
about...
walk outside, and it just feels it's like that razor burn, you know, and the cold against that razor burn head.
Right.
It feels so good.
We'll see. I don't know. And SpongeBob creator died.
Yes, he did.
Thought we'd have to
Sad.
mention that, even though I'm not a big SpongeBob person.
What?
It was after my time.
It was after your
It was
time?
like right after my
No,
time.
it was before or it was after and during your time.
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
Because it was around for what, 20 years?
I know, but it just got popular when I really stopped watching. And you're what, 3 years younger than me? It was right in that window.
It was very popular. So like I had already graduated high school by the time it got popular, but I watched it with all my friends in college.
I never heard anybody talk about SpongeBob. When was it released?
Oh man, it's so good. I don't know, but all I remember is I watched it during college. I never watched it in elementary school or middle school or high school or whatever.
I'm looking
Early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s.
Okay, see, May 1st, 1999 is when it premiered, and that was right when I was graduating high school. So
See,
I didn't
you would
have
have
any
been
reason to
prime
watch
for that.
cartoons at that point.
Yeah.
Because I moved, I was on the road, then I was watching Adult Swim after that. I was already watching Adult Swim almost by the time SpongeBob came out. I guess that's why. I watched Cartoon Network at night and not during the day.
Did SpongeBob ever get the Simpsons kind of like treatments? Not the treatment, but like, how it's not as good as it used to be kind of thing. That's what I
know.
I feel like that's what I heard.
It's nautical nonsense.
Simpsons fate, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I know all the memes because I'm on the internet, but
right.
It's like I don't see it and like remember that episode. Like when I see a Simpsons meme, I'm like, oh, that's that episode.
Jason in the chat said Beavis and Butthead was our SpongeBob.
Right. That's true.
Damn it, that makes sense.
You guys still watch South Park?
I have been watching this season.
I do. It's not I'm not into this season.
Yeah, same.
I'm not. There are in their later seasons there are some that have come out and they have been completely like utterly awesome. Like when they started doing that first season that they started tying all the episodes together.
Yeah, see, I don't like that they do that. I wish they would do just individual episodes.
I don't like it either, but the first season they did that, it was really good, and then after that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever.
I mean, I like the concept because they're coming up with their own stories and they're basing it on what current events happened that week.
Yeah.
Because they produce it in just a matter of days. But it feels really, really not funny now.
Yeah, I think they hate doing it. They just want it to end.
But they're like making so much money. They're like, we're just going to keep going. Yeah, that probably.
I mean, wouldn't we all do the same, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't blame them at all. I think that's why Seth MacFarlane actually just had some really, really dumpy seasons of Family Guy because he was like, how bad can we possibly make this and still make money?
At some point, you just start doing it ironically, right?
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to have a story, so let's do a chicken fight for 10 minutes.
Oh, that was amazing. I love I remember that.
Yeah, but people talk about it.
Here's the problem. Chicken fight is cool. It's funny. It reminds me of something I did in high school that we did on our television show in high school, which was called Action Sequence, where we'd have these two guys fighting each other over something, and every 6 weeks you would see it again. But the thing about having those sequences in these is they get syndicated, and so you go to watch a random episode, and then all of a sudden the chicken fight starts, and you're like, okay, and you just kind of skip forward. Or it's a Conway Twitty song that lasts for 2.5 minutes.
Yeah,
and you're like,
or him
though?
hurting his knee and going for like 10 minutes.
The one that I do think is pretty funny is the one where they take the video that what's his name did? Mick Jagger. Was it Mick Jagger? Yeah, Mick Jagger and David Bowie.
Okay.
Taking
that video clip? Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The music video?
Oh,
it
that was amazing.
Just the lamest, most
Jumping
homoerotic
down
looking.
the staircase, and
Yes.
I love that clip.
I don't know.
Like the way they were
just feel like
staring
they're
at each
bonding
other.
so hard.
And
I
it's
know,
just
I know.
so cheesy 80s, and then at the end they play the whole video, and at the end it's the one that the person did the real audio sounds to on the internet.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that was hilarious. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. Ah, it's insane. That's so funny.
At the end of it cuts back to Peter, and he was like, America, that happened and you let it happen. It's really
funny.
I think it's funny because you just have to be reminded on how bad that video is every once in a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it hasn't aged well, but there's something that's just unique about it. Just you can tell they're just having fun. You can tell this clip was rushed, probably made in an evening, but you can just tell they're having so much fun. And then there's this weird tension between both of them.
It's really
Every
weird.
single time this gets posted, people are saying like these two guys
That's
like
what I'm
have
saying.
something going on.
Right.
But it's just fun to talk about. But I know there's something very unique to this clip, and for that
And I
reason,
think they're wearing denim.
yeah.
You know?
The outfits, the dance moves. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to uncover here.
Anyway, the Chad Talk from DFWC4D. We posted
Yes.
that this week. We tried that premiere thing on YouTube. I kind of like that
Yeah,
for
it's
certain
alright.
things, not for everything.
People thought it was live, which was funny.
Yeah. I was like, no, that's just a premiere. Premiere is like a new thing. Like you watch a new posted video live, and you can't view the video until it premieres. So it's
Yeah.
kind of fun to do. But I don't think we'll do it for everything. But if we have something really fun to share, you can check that out. It's getting pretty decent hits already.
Yeah, it's
couple
a
days old.
really good deep dive into,
man.
or maybe not deep dive, but
So
pretty
good.
quick dive into Substance Designer, which is
It
pretty nice.
inspired me to get into Substance Designer and to try and do some of my own textures. There's a
Yep.
link that I'll put in the show notes, actually, and it's from Algorithmic's website. And it shows you how you can use your iPhone and like this little light setup you do on your own with a little light box in order to do your own textures and move the light around and get, take multiple pictures and combine them and use a Macbeth chart. I got a little pocket Macbeth chart
Oh yeah,
on Amazon
That's
for
what that
like
was.
$80,
Jeez.
And well, the thing is that the colors are like perfectly fine tuned, and they use these lasers or something to make sure that the colors are perfectly accurate. And it
Yeah.
even says on the inside you can only use this for 2 years and it won't be accurate anymore
Oh, that's funny.
because like things degrade and
Just
fade
leave it out in
and-
the sun
yeah
for like a week.
yeah.
That'll be perfect.
I think that's why it comes in the little case too, so that the light doesn't get to it.
Mhm.
Wait, sorry. What are you talking about exactly?
This is
It's
a
a-
Macbeth chart.
So it's a little chart that has a whole bunch of individual colors on it.
Oh yeah, I got
So
you.
that way you could color correct.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard
Yeah.
it referred to under that name until Chad said that.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I've
Did you
always
say a Macbeth? Is that what it's called?
Macbeth.
Macbeth.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and
Interesting.
I've never
Okay.
heard it referred to as that, but basically you just put it into your scene and you take a photo with it, and then you take your actual photo.
Oh yeah. Yep. I watch a lot of BTS. There's always one somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've, we've had them on some of the shoots that we've done. I've never personally used it, and I'm doing all this texture stuff, and I would like to, figure that out. So I'll probably be finding some good resources as well. You could see like, right here, like this one here, someone's holding it up. There's tons of stuff on it online. I just never heard it referred to as that. The one I got was from Amazon. It's like a little passport. See if I can show that here. Macbeth passport. Here we go. It's similar to this. It's not this exact. Well, no, this is the exact one I got actually. This one is a. See, it comes in this little case. It closes. It's got the white balance, the grays, the colors. It comes with a CD of something, which I don't know how I'm even going to read
Right.
that. Whatever, but
Needs a dongle.
CDs,
Right.
am I right, guys?
Yeah.
CDs.
yeah,
There's
CDs.
this 2005. I usually see the Macbeth paired with the chrome ball, the mirror ball.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
For your HDR map.
totally.
Any BTS shot, you have the guy holding the Macbeth and the other person next to him, or the same person holding them both. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I like Billy's. Yeah, leave it in the sun. And then it can have he said it could have the faded Blockbuster 2004 vibe. I think maybe that's going to be a thing. You leave it in the sun and let it fade, and then you still color correct off of it. And you come up with a unique LUT called Faded Macbeth.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah? Yeah, Kevin, I'll print you one off the office printer. I'm pretty sure those colors won't be laser accurate, but,
yeah,
you know, it's worth a try, right?
Pretty nice.
It's pretty good, I guess.
Oh, boy.
He said it. He said the thing. All right. X Particles. So much software stuff this week. I've been diving into stuff, and it's been really fun. It's really fun when you get a big project you can dive into some stuff on. And it can also be frustrating because your R&D takes a little longer. Been playing with a lot more X Particles this week to try and figure out some techniques that we're going to use on this project. And there's some things I absolutely love X Particles, but there's some things sometimes I can't figure out and I get frustrated with. And I don't know if it's just me or if I'm bad at Googling things or what it is. But there's so much great stuff about After Effects, but there are these little itty bitty things about, did I say After Effects? X Particles. Did I say After Effects?
Yeah,
X Particles that I just sometimes can't figure out and I can't find a good resource for. It's nobody's fault. It's not like they're doing a bad job. I mean, you look at their manual online and it's ridiculous, but
it's so great. I love it. Thank God for the manual.
And their Discord, because Bob sent me a link to the Discord and I got in there and I did find a lot of answers by just doing a search. You know, you go in there. So for example, I was trying to find information on how to do snow and not snow falling from the sky, because that's easy to do in X Particles. But I do have something to say about that, by the way. But when you go on their site and you look, they have these snow examples they've done where there's like chunky, wet snow and powdery snow, and there's stuff falling, you know, onto like surfaces. And you look at that and you're like, okay, this is fluid effects using the grain solver. Right. How do I make this? Yeah. And you Google there's no information on it.
I found it was a tutorial he did at IBC, I think it was. You know, that I watched that kind of went over that a little bit.
Yeah. So the great thing about our Slack, I got to say, somebody actually, after he said this, someone actually commented on it. I'm going to bring it up.
You're okay. You sound like you're dying.
I was trying not to burp into the mic. Sorry.
And yet you still did.
So the snow, I'll show you this snow here on the feed too. So
there's a serious lack of tutorials online, by the way. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
For X Particles mostly, but yeah.
Were you talking about Andy Needham's? Doesn't he have a Does he have an X Particle Slack? I think he does.
Oh, does he have an X Particle Slack? I have no idea.
I thought maybe he did, but I think
gosh, that snow looks so good.
It's so good, and there's videos of this on their site. And I'm like, how do you do this? So here's the great thing about the Slack is like I posted this, and Bob Walmsley. I get Tom Bosley, Bob Walmsley. Oh my gosh, it's so hard.
The same.
It's so hard to say they both do X Particle stuff.
I emailed him last night and I was looking out his name in my inbox. What's his name again? And I kept messing it up. Anyway, that's me.
So, yeah. He posted this.
We'll just call him. And I was combined. Bob Bosley.
Bob Bosley. Tom Walmsley. Bob Tomsley.
Bob Tomsley.
Bob Tomsley.
I like that.
It's just both of them mixed together. They're just the same person now.
Right.
So he posted this thing, and I was asking about, I can't find any info on this, and then he said you can get more info in Slack, told me where to find stuff, and then eventually he said I'll try and dig up this file because I have it somewhere from doing this. And so it was Grant. He was like, this Slack is like the one-stop hub for everything because so many people are in here. We've got Joel Zorbach is in here now in the Octane channel. You've got all graphics people, Andy and
Amit's in the
Billy
Octane as well.
Amit's in here now, and you've got Liam and EJ and David already.
Mr. Plow.
Mr. Plow's in here now. So let's talk about that.
All right.
Mr. Plow.
Mr. Plow. That's his name.
That name again is Mr. Plow.
Mr. Plow. So big news on the Slack. Jules was talking about how he had a phone call with, or he was about to get on a phone conference with Ty over at Pixel Plow, and the Slack kind of blew up, and everyone got really excited, thinking that Octane was coming over to Pixel Plow, and sure enough, they were able to work something out, and they've agreed that they're going to start offering Octane on Pixel Plow by the end of the year. That's what they said, by end of year.
Something's happening. Something will be happening, and we're really happy that
is,
you know,
that's that. I love you, Otoy, but that's an Otoy timeline, so it may be next year when we see it.
I don't know, because if Pixel Plow, if Ty is working on it, he'll make it happen.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that will just be with Orbix files initially, which is fine because you could just export Orbix out of Cinema 4D or whatever.
That was the by the end of the year thing, is the Orbix.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then they'll work on the C4D stuff later. But super exciting. Octane is coming to Pixel Plow. I'm very, very excited about that because, we've been working on that deal for a while.
We have been like, we've got to get these two together.
Yep.
We have
every time we talk to Jules, we're like, hey, you got to get Pixel Plow. And every time we talk to Ty, we're like, hey, we're gonna get you hooked up with Jules. So we were happy we were finally able to work it out. So
Mark in the chat said, "Is there a Plow King?" See, somebody's gonna come out with the Pixel Plow King.
Right.
For some of us who've never heard of Pixel Plow, can I ask what it is?
Yeah, it's basically a render farm.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Render service.
Okay,
so
cool.
Great render service.
Their prices are like ridiculously inexpensive. I this past week, so I came up with a really neat idea. And Dave, should I tease it a little bit about the spotlight?
Oh, not yet. Let's make sure we can do it first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know we can. I just don't know how easy it'll be to build it in. Anyway, so
don't give away our secrets yet. It'll be a surprise.
So, anyway, I needed to create some volumetrics for an Octane render, and I was like, well, I know volumetrics take forever in Octane. It's very, it's just not the best. I didn't want to go through and do everything again in Redshift in order to render them out. But the standard C4D Spotlight volumetrics are actually really good, and they render really fast. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and recreate. Well, I mean, so if you look at what?
Phometrics.
Oh my gosh. So if you have the Brograph Spotlight, if you do the little drop down, if you unlock everything and do your drop down, you'll notice that we've actually got a standard C4D light in there, And so I actually ended up using that standard C4D light and throwing some noise in it and rendering it out as a standard Cinema 4D render. So I had my lights already set up, and I set those as my volumetrics, and then did an override material with a black luminant material for everything else. So I got this pass of volumetric lighting super fast. So I sent this over to Pixel Plow because we're GPU based. We're not set up for CPU. It would have been rendering all day for us. I sent it over to Pixel Plow. It was 1,200 frames altogether for two separate passes. It cost me less than $3.
Yeah.
What?
For 1,200 frames. Yeah.
What?
Which was ridiculous. So fast and so cheap.
So what was the rendering engine?
It's just standard C4D. Standard C4D.
Gotcha.
That's what I was doing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. That's why I absolutely love this render service.
Straight up, goddamn. But physical render.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, all right.
But it does other render engines too. So,
yeah.
And Octane is coming.
Arnold Redshift.
And Octane's coming.
And Octane's coming. Yeah, Arnold Redshift, V-Ray. Yeah, almost all of them, I think.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous because I keep complaining about how expensive this hobby, what is a hobby right now. But there's so many alternatives to everything that's just starting to feel inexpensive and just starting to feel more affordable. As this is going to get a lot of beginners into 3D.
Yeah, and that's it's. I don't know. I like Pixel Plow because it's ease of use. It's when I've used other render services before, Ranch computing, that was awful. That experience, I will always talk trash about Ranch computing because they're my least favorite render service I've ever used. But the Pixelplow comes with its own little agent, and you can submit everything on there and set it where you want it to save to. And the upload speed is mega fast and the download speed is mega fast. And it's just like, it's all around my absolute favorite that I use. So, and as a newcomer, like what you were talking about, being new to the game, you don't really know, like, you don't really know all this stuff. When I was first getting into render farms and stuff, I had tried range computing and stuff, and it was like, it was taking, you had to pay more money to be first in line, which is so dumb, and like, that's one thing I love about the Plow is that you set the amount you want to spend. If you want it to be more, if you want faster time, you basically jump it up. If you don't care, if you want cheaper price, you bring it all the way back down, which, excuse me, the farm was still being used by a lot of people. And I just did the cheapest one because I didn't care how long it was going to take. It still took me only 45 minutes for that render, which is still mega fast versus some of the other ones where they're like, no, you get priority if you pay more money. It's like, well, I don't want to do that because then I'm just going to be sitting there for 12 hours when people in front of me could be paying more money. I don't know.
100%.
It's mega cool. Mega cool.
Mega cool.
Somebody asked in the chat room if it's C4D only. No, I mean,
no,
I'm looking on the page. It's Max, Blender, Maya, Fuse.
Okay,
Where's the list?
I've got it. Max 2018, 2017, 2016, After Effects 2017, Arnold 4, Blender 2.7, Cinema R16 through 20, Houdini 16, Lightwave 2018, 2015, and 11, Lux Render, Maxwell 4 and 3, Maya 2018, 2017, 2016, Moto 10 and 11. Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, you did.
Softimage 2015, Terrigen Alpha 4, 3.4, 2.5, and View 2016 and 25.
Did you say Houdini?
Super. I did say Houdini.
RealFlow?
I did not say RealFlow. Is that on there? Well, those are some of the plugins that are also built into it. Yeah,
because he's got like Grayscale Gorilla on here.
Yeah. There's tons, tons and tons of stuff. Now say it 10 times fast.
Yeah.
We missed
After
you, Kevin.
Effects,
Where have you been?
After Effects.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to send some stuff to After Effects to try and test it out because I had an After Effects render. It took me 4 hours to do. It was just like, man, some of this 4K stuff is just taking so long. After Effects, if it could just get faster.
Over 1080, it starts crapping out.
If you could just get better. Just get better.
Yeah, I don't feel the need to add anything to what you just said. Is exactly my thoughts right now. I was working with an Instagram resolution last night, the 1080 by 1350. I was working on an image sequence. So, I'm starting to feel that image sequences are definitely heavier on After Effects than just a straight up MP4.
It depends on what image sequence, too.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sure. It's a PNG. Every image was about 8 megabytes, whatever. But I don't know. I was so sluggish. I'm so sick of it. I am getting my new computer this week, but still, even with a decent CPU that I have right now, I'm constantly surprised at how sluggish it is. Is it multi-thread or single-thread? I keep forgetting.
Single thread.
Single thread.
Yeah, it's so crap.
It's
so crap.
Look at Chad Ashley's video too on which image sequences work fastest on After Effects.
Yeah. That's why we're talking about switching over to Fusion, but then we've been hearing all these rumors about how Fusion is only going to be incorporated into DaVinci Resolve and that it's not going to be its own standalone. So we're like, okay, well, did we just waste $600 on 2 licenses of Fusion that, are going to be obsolete in a year?
Well, it's not like they're getting rid of it. It's the fact that we're thinking it'll stay more popular and blow up more if they leave that free, like a free version out there or something. But we bought Resolve anyway, so it doesn't matter for us.
No, we bought Fusion. We didn't buy Resolve.
But I thought it comes with Resolve. I thought Resolve. No,
Resolve is
Fusion...
free.
Right,
Resolve is free, or you can buy like the $300 Resolve that comes with a free version of Fusion.
I thought that's
but
what
I don't know if it's no. We just bought Fusion.
But isn't it the same price to get both?
I have no idea.
Why did we do that?
I really have no idea. All right, let me look at this. Go ahead.
All right. Okay, so here's some other stuff about X Particle. So he gave me the file, and So there's little things that I want to do sometimes, like, let's say, kill an action on contact. It's not like, or kill a particle on contact, and it's not like it's hard to do, but sometimes I'm like, where does that thing go? Where do I click on this thing? What is that under? Is this under generators? Is this under whatever? I get lost sometimes. Like, here's a good example. Some things are tags, some things are not tags, and sometimes I don't know how to use them. It's not that if I had it working correctly, I wouldn't be able to adjust all the settings. I wouldn't be able to make it look the way I wanted it to look, but it's things like this. I was trying to pin some cloth onto another object. Okay, and when you're doing regular cloth in Cinema 4D, you can put cloth on whatever. And you use you can attach it to stuff, and you have certain way of going about that, but it's different in X Particles. I had not done cloth in X Particles before. And so it's like, all you do is you use this tag and you can just pin it. And I'm like, that makes sense. The only problem is, where does the tag go? Does it go on the object you're pinning it to? Or does it go to the object that is being pinned? Well, it doesn't really say. And then under that tag, it says object. Well, I don't know what object you're talking about. What goes in the object field? Does the source go in the field? Does the other one go in the field? And where does my tag go? And then it says point. It says and what you want it to attach to, which I'm assuming is a selection tag. But you can't do a selection tag of faces to pin. It has to be selection tag of points. So where will I find this information? On the internet. So I go to their site. It says, here's what the tag does. But it doesn't say how to use it. I go to watch a tutorial. It shows somebody putting some information in something. I have to blow it up and look and see where they dropped it. And some of the stuff that I find is outdated because so much changes. And so there's these little things where it's like, all I need to do is put a tag on something and drop two things in it. But I have to spend 45 minutes trying to figure out how to do it. Because it doesn't say, because it could have said in the tag, it could have said source, that you're linking to, or what it could be more descriptive as to what it was, and it's trying to find that information. And sometimes it's not that the information isn't there, it's just really hard to figure out where is there something that tells me how to use this. So that's kind of my frustration in all of that. And things like rotation, I always have this, I still don't quite understand rotation in X Particles. Because like, oh, you want rotation on a particle, you just go turn on rotation. It's like, no, I want to have dynamic rotations. When you do MoGraph and you put a bunch of balls in a scene, okay, and you give them physics, they will fall and they will rotate. Particles don't work that way. Particles don't have automatic, like, rotation to them. Like, so if you attach a ball to those particles, they're all going to be landing straight up.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So I'm like, okay, well, where do you set where the actual, like, you could make the dynamics happen? Do you have to add dynamics? Do you add this rotation? If you're doing snowflakes, you can't just start snowflakes and they just automatically move and rotate. Like, you have to add that. And where do I put that? And, it's one of those things. See, Mark said I have the exact same thing with X Particles. He says, don't even get me started on particle dynamics. It's the particle dynamics, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just, it's such a great program, but there are these little itty bitty tiny things that just stump me sometimes. And I wonder if I'm the only one.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, your rant is definitely a great depiction of, I find personally, of so many things within the realm of 3D. For anyone that's not into 3D right now listening, I can relate so hard to what you just said in so many ways of just doing so many things outside of X Particles, also in Cinema 4D. So many times do I just not find a way to do what I want to do, and there's literally no one talking about it, a tutorial, forum, whatsoever, and you just gotta find your way, through, just like find a way to do it. And you got to be so self-sufficient, and that's the first thing I tell people when they want to get into 3D. Please, I hope you're independent. I hope you can be self-sufficient. Otherwise, you're gonna have a really hard time.
Yeah.
That rant you just did, that was pretty much me every day for my first year of self-learning 3D, and my God, was it a nightmare.
It's such a great thing to have those resources available. And to have even sample projects. Oh my gosh. Like, I was like, even if I could, on that snow, I was like, if I could find a sample project so I could just open it and see what the settings were, because I don't know what they're supposed to be, and I don't know. Like, I found some other people doing snow, and it's like, oh, this looks so amazing, but they don't offer any explanation on how they did it.
Yeah,
they
it's
said,
just
"Here's
like,
some
oh,
tests
hey,
I
look
did."
at the snow that I shot. Yeah,
it's like
sometimes it's intentional too, right? They want to keep
Yeah.
their secret recipe themselves, of course.
right,
Yeah.
of course. Well, luckily, most people in this industry are pretty good about actually sharing. You know, we've had a lot of conversations about, you know, there are some industries that are so on lockdown that they would never share anything like that.
right.
So,
I'm looking at you, ArcViz.
Claudia said, best of all, okay, this is Da Vinci, and
Yeah, but I don't think like yeah, Grant was saying that like it's full resolve with a gimped version of Fusion. So like
I didn't
it's
know.
not a
I'm
full
so
version of
confused.
Fusion. See, I got us the full version of Fusion. So
okay,
if I screwed up, I'm sorry. Whatever.
send it back.
We can't.
Send back the dongles.
B&H won't let you.
See, if you have a dongle, can't you send that back?
No, because you could have just copied the dongle somehow.
Can
I
you
bet.
copy a dongle?
I have no idea. That's why dongles are so dumb.
It seems like you could emulate a dongle the same way you could. I don't know.
Would think
Doesn't it
so.
seem like it? But
Anyway.
Gotta get them dongles.
Yeah, get them dongles,
them
though.
dongles, though.
Never enough dongles. Do you guys mind if I just answer Sebastian's question before it
Sure.
goes
Yeah,
too
dude.
far?
Yeah, go
Because
ahead.
Sebastian just asked a question earlier about just me uploading more breakdown videos on
Mhm.
my Patreon. Yes, I do plan on making more breakdowns. I mean, to do breakdowns, I have to post stuff. So first thing first, posting stuff and then a breakdown. I could do breakdowns on my old posts, but I get so excited about the new ones that I'd rather just focus on the new ones because they're fresh. I literally just did them, so to approach is very fresh in my head. But yeah, I will definitely do more breakdowns.
Cool.
Cool. Does that mean we should jump into Justin, or you got a couple more things to do?
I got
Dave.
We got a couple more quick things here. Number one, I did jump into Marvelous Design. I did jump into Marvelous Designer, and
Yeah.
and just along those same lines, if you think that those little one or two little itty bitty things in X particles are hard to figure out, try doing Marvelous Designer. Oh my
And
god!
the doc is outdated, by the way. The documentation.
Oh yeah.
Most of it is outdated. That was the biggest unexpected surprise, personally. But I love Marvelous Designer, so I can't talk crap about it.
It's
I love
so
it too much.
it's so great, like being able to take a piece of cloth and just pin it and move it and like drape it around somebody. But it's like, oh my gosh, you tried to figure out how to do anything, and they're 7-year-old tutorials that look nothing like it looks now. And the documentation, it's like that button isn't there, and I don't know what it's called. And my biggest gripe is I spent 1 hour yesterday trying to figure out where are the coordinates listed for these things. I accidentally
Yeah.
turned my model a few degrees, rotated, and I cannot find a field that says 0 out PSR. There is nothing
Yeah.
where you can type coordinates. Am I crazy, or is it hidden somewhere? Or does it not have it?
I've been playing with Marvelous Designer for 1.5 years, and I wouldn't be able to tell you, to be honest.
So there is nothing. If you accidentally rotate your model, there is no way to make sure it's back at 0.
It's a very good question. It took me a long time. First of all, you know how you moved your gizmo of the avatar?
Yeah.
And for the longest time, by default, it moves depending on the angle of the viewport. Did you realize this? The way you move the avatar, it just doesn't move in the axis you want because it moves based on the angle from where you're viewing the avatar.
Yeah.
And then you need to manually change that option so that if you move the axis of your avatar, it actually moves in the axis you want from whatever angle you're viewing your model from. Why is this a thing? Why is this enabled by default, first of all? And who came up with this? There's got to be a reason. I just can't figure it out. I had the hardest time literally just moving an object on the Y or X or Z axis.
Yeah.
In Marvel,
It's pointed at the Z is pointed at the camera at all times. You're like, why?
Exactly. It's the weirdest thing.
Why would that be a default? And you do a search online for coordinates and scale and all that. It says this is how you scale the gizmo. I don't want to scale the gizmo. I want to scale the model. I could not figure out how to scale the model. I had to go back into Cinema 4D and blow it up and resave the FBX file.
That's funny.
And it's like, well, why? I don't know.
You know, that's why I'm starting to love the idea of Houdini. I'm seeing these people do every single thing in Houdini.
Yeah.
Create the garment, put it on the model. You model there, then you create a garment, then you put it on your model that you modeled, and then you just do the simulation there. It's all in the same software. Amazing workflow. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm getting a little sick of this workflow of Dash 3D, Marvelous Designer, Cinema 4D, and every other step after or whatever.
Yeah.
Just God damn, it's getting to me a bit. Yeah.
That's why Brandon Parvini was. I talked about the rant that he did when we were hanging out at Seagraph. Was it Seagraph? Yeah, Seagraph.
Yeah, Seagraph.
And how there are these little things that people are doing in other pieces of software that if Maxon found a way to implement, I know some of this stuff is a lot of work, but some of these little things that we have to go to another program for like 10 minutes, if they could put some of that stuff in and be like, oh my gosh, I can stay in Cinema 4D. I'm used to this interface. I know I have good resources and documentation, and I don't have to do this. I mean, I love R&D. And I love coming up with looks and messing with things for a project. But if I go into a piece of software and I have to search for an hour on how to move the rotation back to 0, that is ridiculous.
It's like when people was talking about moving the camera. It's going to take me an afternoon. I just need to, how do I move the camera?
Yeah. It's nuts.
We're getting relate.
Now, another piece of software I do absolutely love, and again, this was inspired from Chad Ashley's talk, is PureRef. I've heard about PureRef. I knew I should get it. I thought about getting it, but once I got it, I'm like, I love it because it's fully customizable. This is one of those that like will let you do these customizations. You know, you go to a Marvelous Designer, you can't change your shortcuts to make everything work like Cinema 4D, but you can like PureRef. You can put all these images in it. You can look at your references. You can compare them with what's on the screen, and you can change the shortcuts. I make my shortcuts work like Cinema 4D, so I can hold down the one key and drag, you know, all of that. PureRef is really, really great, and I can't stress enough. I knew it was great. I heard it was great, but I'm actually using it now, and I recommend that. Like, it's free, so go load it up and try it and see what you think.
Yeah.
Gav
what else
Grant,
software have we bought this past month? Jeez, it's like Substance. We upgraded our Substance.
We updated 2 licenses of Substance.
We
updated
we
2 X Particles licenses.
2 X Particles, yeah.
We bought 2
Marvelous
copies
Designer.
of Marvelous Designer, 2 copies of
2
Fusion.
copies of Fusion.
2 copies of, well, we're going to get 2 copies of Deadline.
We also bought the Everyday Model, or the Everyday Material Pack from Grayscale Gorilla, which,
so
by the
I was
way,
playing with that
so good.
Dude.
So good.
And once
like,
you watch his talk,
legit.
when you watch his talk, you're like, I am buying this.
Yeah.
Which one exactly again?
The Everyday Material Pack.
Is it for Octane or
it's for Octane? It's for Octane, Redshift, and Arnold. It is not for. But it comes with. The thing is, it comes with all the maps.
Gotcha.
So, literally, you could buy it and use it in any software as long as you know what you're doing. But yeah, it's legit. Like, you know, a lot of material packs that I've bought in the past, I've like bought for one specific material, and they just end up being total crap. You know. Yeah. But this one is probably the most legit one that I have bought ever. I totally recommend it. And what is it? Oh boy, I just saw this.
Did they end up in your content browser?
December 10th. They're having their annual 40% off sale. Ooh. So, yeah. So if you're thinking about picking it up, wait until December 10th and pick it up then. It'll be 40% off, which will be awesome.
Troy asked if it's only available for Octane 4. I'm not sure, but
it is only Octane 4.
Yes, because there's stuff like metalness and all of those different options that are being used. And universal shaders and stuff or whatever. So
yeah.
But and what I didn't get at first is if you are using an Octane, you have to put the materials into
you don't
your OpenDB.
Have to. Well, you don't have to.
There's no actual materials.
It's all
they're
RBX files. But I mean, I think you can download them. Something, you know. I'm pretty sure you can actually use the straight up ones if you want, but it's easiest just to put them in the live database, you know. Just super easy.
So last thing on the week wrap up before we get into the meat of the show, as it were. It always usually takes us an hour to get in the meat of the show.
Yeah.
Is I have been collecting some, not a lot, but some outtakes and good moments from the show, more outtakes than anything.
Oh boy.
And what I would like to say is, I don't know if someone's bored or if somebody's binge listening, which means they're probably not to this episode yet and it will be too late.
Yeah.
But if somebody's going back, whatever it is, if you're listening to the show, if you ever come across like a clip that you think is really great or something that's funny or an outtake or something that would be good in a clip show, eventually down the line, we would like, if you can clip it, great. If you can send us at least a time code or something, that'd be great, because I think at some point when we have like a holiday or something, we'll do like a best of or we got some really funny outtakes, I think.
Yeah.
And we've got some outtakes that were like off air or when we were recording, setting up, or things that if you're a listener of the audio version of the show only, which is most people, you wouldn't have heard, because stuff that happens in the live stream or whatever. So that wraps that up. So Justin, let's talk about you now.
Let's learn about you, Justin.
Let's do it.
I want to start off. We'll start off with the piece that blew up your Instagram. We'll start with that.
Which one?
No.
Okay, you don't want to call it the. I'm going to call it this. All right, because we're going to talk about this. All right. So we've been calling it the Grim Reaper piece, the Grim Reaper piece, so Dave, are you able to bring it up? There you go. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, and I saw this piece on Reddit, actually. Someone had posted it on Reddit.
Somewhere else. Facebook.
And probably the creepy subreddit. I posted on the Cinema 40 subreddit. Top post of all time is subreddit, of course. But the creepy subreddit, it blew up pretty good. It went into our all. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So now you're saying it's not a Grim Reaper, correct? You're going more for the what was it? The Lord of the Rings, the Ring Wraith?
The Nazgul, yeah.
I don't know what they're called.
You know what? It's the thing is it's the guy with a cloak. It's the trope. It's the cliche of the evil person with a cloak and the gloves. That's all it is. But people want to label it. That's fine. They'll do it. It's on me. It's on me for not naming it. If I had named it, that maybe that's what would have caught on. But
yeah, but maybe if you had named it something different, maybe it would not have been so popular, because there is the San Francisco Bridge is known for a lot of suicides, so adding the Grim Reaper there, or what people would think would be the Grim Reaper, it's actually an interesting play on that,
Yeah, and I keep telling people look, I'm not that naive. It did cross my mind for a minute during the creation of this. But I thought I was just, I had 13,000 followers. I thought I was going to post this. I thought I was going to get my usual 30, 50 comments. And then people would tell me nice. And then I obviously didn't expect it to blow up. So, okay, I'm just going to post this. And then, I got all these comments of people being like, oh, that's insensitive. But, it's to the point where there weren't that many people telling me it was not kind of insensitive. So, to the point where when you blow up and when your video reaches out to 15 million people, then those people telling you that it's a bit insensitive, it's gonna feel like a vocal minority, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna. Yeah. I like saying this. The more popular you get, the more people will hate you. The more haters you'll have.
A hater ratio.
Yeah, for sure.
Hater ratio. I love it.
Hater ratio. That haterade.
Yeah. What would have been one comment had I not blown up?
Right.
It was now 200 comments. As in the vocal minority. So
instead of having that one comment that's is this the Grim Reaper? That's kind of insensitive. And you're like, oh no, it's not the Grim Reaper. LOL, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
There's 500 people saying that you're a bigot instead for some reason, and it's hard because stuff will blow up online related to social or something you post, and it's that's not what I meant, and it's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late. Nobody cares. Nobody
cares
to hear the truth.
The big majority of people didn't see that. They gave me the of the doubt. I explained how I've used this monster before. I just never posted it. I've shown this monster in other Instagram stories. I scrap things all the time. So the followers I had before, already got the concept, already got the idea that I was already playing around with this monster. But yeah, I keep telling people, like, had I known that this was going to be perceived as the Grim Reaper next to a suicidal bridge, I don't think I would have posted this. I think I would have used a different monster. I could
honestly.
just,
like, I mean, I would have. It's a comment on,
It's social commentary on.
Yeah, it's social commentary.
You could spin that into a good thing.
It's interesting. I think because of that, like it sells it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I feel you. I feel you. At the end of the day, though, the controversy and quotes wasn't nothing.
Yeah, but really, you gotta. How many Instagram followers did you have before this?
About 13,000.
13,000, and then how many after this post?
How many after, like directly after, like
It's what are you at now, basically?
What are you at now?
That's almost 600,000.
Yeah, which is more than people.
So,
yeah, that's the thing, right? I keep telling people, insane. How awkward is it to have more followers than your idols? Right. But again, people gets a gig with Louis Vuitton. I don't have this kind of like, it's about
Not
the
yet.
opportunities at some point. At some point, you have a number, the number gives you power. But really, the real power really is the opportunities. I was getting some really good opportunities when I had 13,000 followers. I had a deal with Reebok. I had a deal with some companies that were, I think, really great. But really, and I've gotten some really great opportunities, of course, from this viral video. But it's not as if I was taking on more opportunities. I keep my day job, but all that stuff. But yeah, we can talk about this later, but yeah, absolutely.
But you were doing a lot of photography, right? Before that?
Yeah.
Because like a lot of people, look at Nick Campbell, for example. Grayscale Gorilla started as a photography blog.
I didn't know.
So did I think people started doing photography?
Yeah, well, he was doing hand drawings too. He started with hand drawings, and so sometimes something starts out like that. I've noticed a lot of people, we always say come from graphic design or they come from video and they get into motion graphics. There are photographers that get into it too. And so I was looking at your Instagram. It's like a whole bunch of photography, and all of a sudden it makes that switch. So how did you and when did you start making that move, and why?
Yeah, my path, my journey, I guess, is a bit interesting or whatever. I started like when I was 15. I started doing After Effects. I discovered After Effects. It's the first software really I fell in love with, and then much later I learned Photoshop. So like kind of weird where I learned the After Effects before Photoshop. But when I started really getting comfortable with both After Effects, Photoshop, I started doing a lot of amateur movies for myself, back when YouTube was not a thing. You guys remember too, I'm sure. So, and then did a lot of home-made movies and whatever movies. That sounds weird. But and then I basically, as soon as I got into Instagram, Instagram was like very immature, like maybe 4 years ago, this newborn little baby of a social network. So people were trying to figure this stuff out. So I was like, all right, let me try. I see people that I'm following do photography, and they're doing photography in a very fresh way. And I'm seeing, like, Instagram being what it was, very little art on Instagram 4 years ago, as little as 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, not sure. Just mostly photography and cell phone shots or whatever. And as the platform matured, and as I started seeing more art on it, I basically like, okay, well, I know Photoshop, I know After Effects, I know this is where my comfort zone is. Let me keep doing photography while I'm starting to post more and more composites. So I started very gradually. So it's like straight up photography, and then a bit more, integrated elements, composites, and then like slowly delving into 3D, full-on 3D renders. So the progression was very slow, but the photography phase felt very awkward because I don't know. I mean, I was basically doing it because other people were doing it. Really, it's not really my comfort zone. I love photography, but it's not my number one comfort zone. But I love portraits. Sorry, excuse me. I still want to keep doing portraits, though. That's the thing I like. And I keep, like, it's kind of weird because when I was 20, I stopped doing video altogether because how time consuming it was. I was just doing stuff for myself, right? And I was like, I love doing videos and whatever in After Effects, motion graphics, or like integrated elements into my videos. But I just like got so sick of it. It's like, okay, it's way too time consuming. So yeah, I turned 20, I started just doing stills. I was just doing like these still composites. And then it's kind of funny how I'm back into doing videos, and I'm back into grinding and killing myself over doing videos. And people, no one's imposing this on me. I could do stills, but you do videos, you stand out, you show off that you can do animation, you show off that you're better than people doing stills, and then you show off your skills. It's a great way to show your skills and to get better storytelling out there. And yeah, animation is just a great way. It really, really, really sucks that Instagram's video quality is so bad. That kills me every single time I post video.
Oh, but, yeah.
I could talk a lot about this, but I'd rather keep it for myself. I would start cursing.
See, I'm not a big Instagram person.
Yeah, me neither.
We post some stuff on there, and I do notice that it gets, if you use hashtags correctly, it gets a lot of play. You get a lot of likes really quick.
That's the thing. That's where people are. I mean, like Instagram, when I blew up, people asked me, hey, did Instagram contact you when you blew up? I'm like, yeah. They called me and they asked me what I thought of. They asked me what I thought of Instagram.
That's interesting.
And what I wanted to say is, they asked me like, so why Instagram? And it's really funny because like I don't think I gave him a good answer. I feel like I just told him what they wanted to hear. But it's really because that's where people are. Otherwise, my God, I would be on our station. I would be anywhere else. It kills me every single time that such a small little medium, such a small and compressed medium.
Yeah.
But wherever you are, though, you have to adapt to the medium, whether it's TV, wherever it is. So it's part of the game, but it's really not the ideal medium. 10 years ago, I thought like in 2018, I would be posting like on these big screens and my work would be displayed on big screens, but it's the complete opposite. Like I thought I'd be posting in 4K or whatever the resolution was going to be. I thought like technology would get to a point where I would do these renders or these composites and they would be displayed on these massive screens. But no, we're back. We've gone backwards to
everything comes full circle. You used to want to have the smallest phone, and now everybody has the biggest phone. Except me.
It's so interesting to me about this whole thing because if you do a Google search for Grim Reaper San Francisco Bridge, like there are articles about this,
Yeah.
And like there's this one, there's a YouTube one called like DDF Ghost Hunting, where they're talking about how this is like a real video, of like actual ghost outside. And it's like, it's so ridiculous because then you go to the next one and they're like, this is the breakdown of how you did it, And these ones, the ones breaking it down have 50 or 60,000 views.
Jeez.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of people pirating that? Do a lot of people copy it, try to repost it on different platforms?
That same video, or you mean like ripoffs? Kind of?
No, that video, like take the exact same video.
I mean like the ones that reposted without tagging me, I don't know about because they're not tagging me,
right?
So I wouldn't know. But there's been a lot of times I do a Google reverse lookup for my work. This one is a video, so it's a bit trickier, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of, you just grab a still from the video and you try to look this up, but it doesn't always work well. I mean, this video went viral to the point where it's outside my control. My last posts on my Instagram were definitely more constrained, like in control. There were, like I could really just get a sense of where it was reposted online. I try not to mess. I try not to bother with people like reposting my content without tagging me, because it requires time and so much energy.
Yeah.
I've learned my lesson. Really, I just got way too involved in the past with this stuff. I'll file a copyright claim on Instagram, and if it really bothers me, if I feel like I'm really really just they're stealing, in quotes, like a lot of viewers from me, a lot of eyeballs. There's this Facebook page that reposted my content, this video, without tagging me. The video got 50 million views.
Jeez.
No credit. Yeah, that stung.
Jeez.
That stung a little.
Yeah.
And I filed a copyright report, and it was taken down. But then
people try and make money off of it. They try and do ads.
Exactly.
You know.
I mean, that's the thing. Exactly. 15 million views. That's going to bring a lot of people to your Facebook account, first of all. And you're obviously using that Facebook account to promote your commercial product or whatever.
Right.
And it's funny because after it was taken down thanks to my copyright claim. They posted I don't want to say rip off, but the guy did the exact same thing I did, just with a different structure. It was a red cloaked giant monster with gloves, like twisting this tower. And I thought it was cool.
It's a rip off.
Okay, all right.
If they posted yours first and then did that, yeah. I mean,
yeah, but you know what? If it's well done, I appreciate it. That's the thing. If it's well done, I'm like, okay, cool. Do your thing. Find your own ideas, but you know what? I'm okay with it. That's fine. What hurts is when I see people ripping off my idea and it's terribly executed. It's really badly executed. That's the thing that's like, I feel like there's a part of me that you took and then you just butchered it completely. That's just like, anyway. And then, so they posted their ripoff and then they got like 15 million views. And, they must have made a lot of money from just that concept.
See, that happened to me on YouTube a while back. I had a video with 12 million views and I wasn't doing AdSense on it. And the people that were ripping it off, like some of them were trying to make money off of it. And I was like, you kind of owe me that money. You took my thing and made money off of it and got 1 million views. Like, so I had to do a lot of that kind of takedown stuff. Now on Instagram, do you get a lot of bots and stuff? I notice like there's people that will comment like we'll post an advertisement for something. We'll post, hey, there's going to be a live stream on Thursday on Instagram. And we'll put all the tags, and then I'll archive it so that when you go to our feed, you don't see a whole bunch of advertisements and things. Only the real Instagram stuff sticks around. But what I'll get is I'll post one of those ads, and I'll have hashtags that are appropriate to what's going to be on that live show. Yep. Except people will write, great work, looks great. Man, that's killer. That's on that shit's fire. And you're like, wait a minute, this is an advertisement with text only. Like, so it's like they're taking that hashtag and they're just automatically doing these responses to anyone with the hashtag.
Exactly. I mean, I was getting very few of those personally. I feel like these people will target like social influencers, kind of like people who are already just promoting brands or already doing some kind of marketing or social influencing. For artists, I have found that I've gotten very few bots, or I see very few bots on my fellow artists' pages. But I don't know. It's not really consistent either. But I personally, very personally, I've gotten very few of those. But at a certain point also, not to brag, but when you blow up and when you get a couple thousand comments, you don't really go through every comment anymore.
Well, you can't. You can't.
Yeah. Exactly, right?
It's like our Slack channel. I realized I had, how many did I have? I think I had...
It was 19,000.
I had 19,000.
No, 9,000 because at 10,000.
Oh, at 10. That's right.
Yeah.
9,000 messages, and I couldn't read them all. Like I tried to keep up with their Slack, and I can't.
It's outside of your control. So there might be a few bot comments from bots in my comment sections now, but yeah, whatever. Instagram is taking action this year on bots and on fake likes and such. So that's great. That's really good news. Yeah.
Yeah, because you want to have those quality followers.
100%. I mean, 99.9% of your followers are going to be quality followers. So bots are such a small little, minority.
So as far as once this kind of blew up and stuff like that, were you able to monetize the popularity of it? Like, were you able to I know you built a Patreon page and stuff like that. Like, have you had a lot of subs to the Patreon page to see the breakdowns and stuff? Or also, like, have you gotten contacted from people saying, hey, I saw this work, it's very cool, I'd love you to do some more stuff? Or like, okay, let's talk about the aftermath of going viral in an Instagram world. Yeah. Like,
how much time do you have?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, like, how many hits did you get on how many views did you get on it? It was like over 15 million or something.
Yeah, 15
like
million.
Across all of these things.
Oh yeah,
how much?
across...
What's the
what's
what's the ROI of a 15 million hit viral video? You know.
Well, first off, like if I had to sum up every single views from like whatever page it was featured on, and the Facebook page as well, if I had to like add it to a number, my guesstimate easily at least 100 million, at least. It was featured by some huge accounts on Instagram. So yeah, that's crazy. So how much money are you getting from a video that gets you 100 million views? Well, the answer so far is absolutely $0. But you know what? It is kind of on me. I could have been pushing for my presets. I mean, that's not true. My preset pack was advertised on a website. The link was in my bio. So you go in my bio, you click the link, it leads you to my preset pack, and I get 65% of all revenues. And so I did make a good decent chunk of money from that. So I can't say I didn't make any money, but aside from that, you know, I've gotten some offers, and those offers will allow me to make some good money. I have yet to take on those offers. I might have a day job and such, but the Patreon is interesting because the Patreon, I really got involved into like, let me start a Patreon, because I was looking at all those big people on a Patreon that had like 400 patrons. I think that's what you call them, patrons, and like Jama Trerev or whatever, like all these big guys. And I was like, oh goddamn, like I have an audience of 500,000 people. I know there's a lot of people that are hungry to learn in my audience. They want to learn and want to see what I do.
Each person to $1, that's $500,000, right?
I know, right? So I'm like, okay, well, I have an audience of, and like, okay, this amount of people look at my stories. If I can just get 400 people to sign up, just 400, which is like, sounds like a lot, but it also sounds like a drop out of 500,000 people.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, let me actually really get serious about this. So I spent a month. I actually like asked my boss, can I work part-time this month? Like I want to commit to this, whatever. And he was like very supportive, very thankful for this. Okay, he allowed me to work part-time for the month of October, and worked on my first reward, and already had like really solid ideas for the next 3 rewards. And yeah, just want to commit. And I already started filming breakdowns. I like, okay, let me commit, but actually let me commit like consistently. I don't want to be that guy that's like, let me start a Patreon, big announcement, and then 2 months later it just dies out, right? I really want to be like consistent. And what a massive failure that was, right? Yeah, that just... Yeah, that really upset me for like a day or two, but I moved on. Yeah, I think it's really hard to start a Patreon, especially for Instagrammers. I did a bunch of reading on the subject, many reasons why it's hard for people to start Patreon from Instagram. You really need a connection with your audience. It's easier for YouTubers because they're actually speaking directly to their audience. It's easier for streamers on Twitch because they're literally talking live to their audience every day. Their audience literally has a connection with their entertainer or artist. I don't, and I try to really let out some personality in my stories, trying to really I'm a you know, not to brag, I'm kind of a witty guy. I like just joking around, so I really let out this personality, but you know, wasn't enough or whatever. And you know, I got literally 8 patrons, and that's about it. I did a big announcement.
You put it up on Instagram and everything like that, right?
And you got 8?
I advertised my rewards on Instagram. I got people hyped up about it. I thought I was releasing some really cool reward, and I was like, I advertised a breakdown video of my latest post. I really like try to build up some hype without being too pushy about it. Just like just enough, you know, just enough to get the excitement going. And you know, about 300,000 people saw my announcements. And yeah, I got 8 patrons.
300,000 people saw your announcement, and you got 8 people.
Well, some of that's going to have to do with maybe the type of people.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and that's the thing. That's the thing with this Instagram world. You know, like you can go online, and us as motion designers can go online, and we can follow people that we like. You know, but then you're also going to get this whole nother world that's not motion designers.
Yeah.
It's once you get outside of that motion design bubble or the 3D animation bubble, like how do you sell yourself to people like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can. I mean, maybe if you went into some other realm, but you know, I guess it's just one of those things where the numbers are just going to help you, I guess, play in other areas, like maybe when it comes to advertising or to other gigs, or I don't know.
I started blaming myself because I knew that the first reward I was pushing out was very much of a niche kind of a thing, right? It was just like this bump map of wipers wiping off a windshield, and it was all done in film. I filmed it, and I just did a bump map, a displacement map, or just like raindrops falling down the windshield and getting wiped off. It's a thing that just couldn't be found online. It couldn't be found at all. You could find it, but it was just awful. It was sold for $80 on Shutterstock or whatever, on Adobe Stock. And I was like, let me actually do a way better version of this and sell it for like $10, and my patrons can get it for free. But I knew that it was still very much of a niche product, and for that reason, I actually provided a C4D file, a project file, and provided an After Effects file with After Effects displacement map. So like, let me try to make it this accessible at least. And 8 patrons.
Have you gotten contacted by any, like, because I know I know a couple of people who have some really high number Instagram followers who are creating like basically digital art and stuff like that. Like they get contacted by some of these big companies like Nike or Adidas or something like that, just to create some art and say, oh, these artists love working with Adidas or love working with Nike or something like that. And just posting it on there because they're getting 300,000 people to look at it's basically an advertisement for them. Yeah. You know, has anyone contacted you for that or anything?
Yeah. First of all, very grateful. A lot of people have reached out, a lot of people. And I've put them all in a folder, and I've not replied to any of them except for 2. And I mean, I want to keep those people like in the list if I ever would decide to go full freelance. I have those people I can reach out to. I'm like, hey, sorry I didn't get back to you, but hey, like I'm available now. What's up? I've had a handful, more than 2, but I've actually like committed to actually 2 email exchanges, and then decided on 1 collaboration. And this collaboration,
so that could I mean, so necessarily 100,000 or 100 million views on Instagram won't necessarily not convert to money. It's just all about like selling it.
You create the audience, and then you kind of
you sell. Yeah. Absolutely. Here's how you make money. You just do an actual ad. It's literally what it is. And if you want to promote yourself, good luck. It takes a whole lot of grinding. If you want to start a Patreon, if you want to start a Gumroad, so much grinding, so much time, so much. You need to put so much hard work into the quality of what you're selling, what you're advertising. You need to actually have an audience of creators, which is a huge thing. Really, you want your audience to have a lot of creators, people that are interested in creating stuff. I mean, this is the thing. The reason why I started my Patreon is because I was getting so many messages of people being like, hey, what software do you use? I want to do what you do. And then how do I? And I still get them. I started my Patreon. If you go on my Patreon, which is the link in my bio, I advertise exactly what you're getting. You're getting tutorials, you're getting breakdowns, you're getting work in progress. And yet I still get those messages. Hey, Justin, how do you do what you do? What software do you use? Dude, for $5 a month, you can literally ask me this on Patreon, and I'd be extremely thankful for your support. And we can exchange. I can talk to you one-on-one on my Patreon. Anyway, so whatever. I don't want to tell people, hey, you need to pay me for me to answer to you. But I mean, $5 a month just to get a really, get some help whenever you need, and get breakdowns, 40-minute breakdowns and work in progress, and list of tutorial and list of softwares I use and my researches. I think it's a good deal, but whatever. And I get it. People want stuff for free, and because the thing is, it's so competitive out there right now with Skillshare, with YouTube, especially just YouTube for free. So many great tutorials out there, and it's fine. But at the end of the day, though, like, I'm extremely grateful for what I have, the audience I have. I'm fine if my Patreon was a failure. It's okay. This is just a kick in the butt to try something else, try another avenue. My only goal my only goal is not to make a living from my Patreon. My only goal is to hopefully cover my monthly expenses for my hobby. This is the only goal. This is like, I don't care. I don't want to make a it's fine if I don't make a living from this. But yeah, I mean, I just my monthly subscriptions right now, as you guys probably know, right? They just add up and add up and add up because every company is going for that. It's a sweet subscription model.
I'm like, can we not have perpetual licenses?
I know,
we're not
right?
Broke at the
Talk
end of the year.
about never owning your stuff, right? You're just renting, and I mean, you know, it's fine by me. I've spent so much money on my hobby so far, so much money. And yeah, my only goal was just to cover some of these expenses. But it's fine. Look, I've put my texture map, my windshield map on ArtStation, right? They have a marketplace now. And he got me already, I put it like 2 weeks ago, already made me more money than my Patreon in 3 months, 3 months. So yeah, I'll just find another avenue. I'm all good. It's fine. You know what? I shouldn't be saying this, but I'll say it still. I'll probably be closing my Patreon, and you know what? That's absolutely fine. No problem. I'll just advertise something else, and I'll
if ArtStation's working for you, right?
ArtStation, I love ArtStation, and yeah, whatever avenue works. And you know, I've committed to this. Now I know. Now time to move on and try something else. So yeah,
it's hard to do. I mean,
so
like, look at Merc. You know, Merc like spends all this time doing Patreon.
I support Merc on Patreon. I love it. And I get why he's successful. He works his ass off, and he makes a living off of it. Good for him.
So if you could go back, knowing what you know now, you know, if you were to hit another like 100 million views, you know, have another video go viral or something like that, how would you monetize that this time around?
Oh God. Well, now that I already have these opportunities, like I've got these big bands that message me and want to collab with me, I would just proceed with those already. I mean, it really depends on what comes to me, but yeah, at this point right now, I would say I wouldn't try to really advertise anything if I was to go viral again. I wouldn't try to again go through the whole process of like, let me go in a different way. This is what I sell now, because it really I have found that really the way to make money off of Instagram, if you're not a social media influencer, really is to, well, I guess you become a social media influencer is to sell stuff. Really, is to advertise something. So and you know what? I could talk about this for so long, but I do not want to advertise on my Instagram. If I advertise, it really is for myself or something that is like 99% from me. What I mean by that is right now there's this big band that everyone knows about that wants to collab with me, and we've been talking about collaborating for 2 months. It's just a matter of finding the time. I've done half a collaboration with them. For people that follow me already, they know we was with the Chainsmokers, and I love these guys. They're so great and they're really cool. But the reason why I'm okay with like tagging them or giving them a shout out is because they're giving me full creative freedom. And what I want to do, and I'm extremely grateful for that. So that's amazing. So I'm okay with being like, hey guys, I'm collaborating with the Chainsmokers, but here you see, I have what you see here on my feed. It was 100% me and vision, 100% creative freedom. Yeah.
I don't know if you asked this earlier, Dave, but Billy said something.
Yeah, I was about to get to that one. Yeah. Well, I got a bunch of questions here.
He says, my question to Justin is, do you feel like pressure to make more stuff in the same similar realm as the stuff that went viral?
Yeah, people want to put you in a bubble and be like, hey, I like that, and I follow you for that, so please do more of that. And then you're just like become this pandering dude, like, hey, let me pander today. Let me pandering.
Let me put the Grim Reaper with the Statue of Liberty.
Exactly. I got so many messages of people asking me to put the Grim Reaper there and there. I get it. I totally get it, though. And you see these big people, I don't want to name names, but you see these really massive Instagrammers, like 1 million followers, photographers or whatever, and they get famous and then they just post the exact same thing to the point where personally I just get bored the hell out. I don't even understand how they do the same thing themselves. How the hell do you not want to stay technically challenged?
Well, because there's some people that are only interested in pandering, and they're fine with that. Because that's what's making money.
If that works with you, if that makes you money, power to you. But
Yeah.
personally, that's why it's a hobby right now, is because I do it for myself, and I do it to be creatively challenged and technically challenged and pushing myself and really, yeah. But yeah, people have been asking me to put the green there and there, and I've teased it. But here's the thing, I kind of want to take that concept of a cloaked character and expand it, put it in different contexts, not make it a giant, not make it a whatever, but I want to keep that same vibe because I love that vibe, and that vibe represents a bit what I want to do. And but I'll just do different versions of it, try to keep it fresh.
Make a comedy version.
Yeah, that too. I actually thought of that. What's funny is like when I had 10, 13,000 followers, at some point during the summer, I just literally put up a video on my feed of just me dancing. I was just dancing some music. I'm just filming myself dancing.
Yeah.
And I was trying to bit too hard to be edgy or trying to be hey, but it was just kind of like, hey guys, like I'll do the F I want on my feed. This is my feed. If you want to unfollow me because you don't think that's that's not what you want to follow, then I'm absolutely fine with it, no problem. But here, my feed is it is something I'm completely in control of. No one else has a say into what I do here. And in your daily life, everyone tells you what to do. My portfolio, wherever it is, whether it's on our station, wherever it is on Instagram, this is something I control completely. This is my stage. I'll do whatever I want here. And this is me dancing in a video, and of course I ended up leaning it as you expect, but still trying to in a very maybe cringy, awkward, edgy way. I try to make a statement there, but it's all good. I mean, it's really just trying to really communicate to everyone that like, hey, I'll do what the hell I want here. You guys trying to put me in a bubble, it's fine, it's expected, but please, like this is kind of what I did with my last video. The last video I posted on my Instagram was very self-serving. It was very much for myself only, not trying to pander to anyone. It got featured, but very little features, very few features. That was to be expected. Trying to just do it for myself and have fun. And and from my next post I'm back to pandering, but pandering in a way that I love it.
There's like Barton says, he actually on his, he likes to try and put some of his personal stuff in there as well, because you get those people that want to see the work he's done, but then you have clients, like high profile clients that are following you, and you might get some people looking at that and seeing your personal stuff, because he posts his personal stuff, and you might say, oh well, he's a real person. Maybe I won't call him at 11 p.m. at night on a Sunday, and expect him to do something, because he is a real person. Other questions here in the chat. This is unrelated, but does Luminous work with version 4 of Octane? Yes, it does.
That's it. I actually use this. Yeah.
Oh, you do use it?
I use it in all my projects. 100%.
Oh, nice. Well, version 4.
Does it?
There's a little issue with it where it comes up with this coffee error. But now that V4 is out, we are working on a version that actually is fully functional. I think it's still fine. If you buy it, you won't have any issue. But other questions in here. Oh, Mark actually said, Mark does the Monday meeting. Make sure you check that out. The mondaymeeting.org, is that right? Get that right? Every Monday?
Yeah.
I've missed it the last couple weeks, and I'm trying to get up early enough to watch it. But Mark says that this was posted on the Monday meeting Instagram with one of their announcements, because they do the same thing. This post is fire. Keep it up. It's like, could you be any more obvious in that, that you're a bot, whatever. I don't know why it matters. It's like you're gonna get more followers if you're commenting more. I don't even understand it.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on the algorithm talk. Every meetup, every Instagram meetup I've went to, everyone wants to talk about engagement. How do I get more engagement? We started an Instagram message group. We just like every time we post, we just post it in the group, and then we go like each other's posts. There's a name for it. I forget.
Gosh.
And just everyone.
There's a name for it. All right. It's called Circle. Never mind.
Circle something. Whatever. Yeah. Right. And then people are be like, just the algorithm. It's fun to talk about the algorithm because it's something that no one knows what it is made of, what exactly how it works. So people would just want to go and like make up all these theories, right? Same for YouTube's algorithm. If you don't know how it works, you're going to make up your own mind. You're going to make your own perspective on how it works. And then you're going to blame him. You're going to blame it, or you're going to be grateful for it. If it works for you, you're going to be like, the algorithm is amazing. If it doesn't work for you, you're going to say it sucks. So really, I've never even talked about the algorithm in any meetup. I try to avoid it. It really is a subject that, doesn't go anywhere.
Billy calls it Al Gore's rhythm.
And
Billy has a new reel out, by the way. I got that in the show notes. That'll be posted as well.
Fire.
And Billy's new reel is fire, by the way. Which I think he just dropped that the other day. I thought I saw it come across something, so that's where I got the link from. Unless he was posting an old reel, but I think it is the new one. So tell us what your next thing is. What are your plans for your next project?
I was gonna do a spit take.
Next project.
Yeah, right. Not working on anything like that. Now, here's the thing about doing animation. It takes a long time. Jesus Christ. I almost missed doing stills just for that reason. But again, no one's telling me to do animation. I've been posting this on myself. But yeah, so I'm like, every single week these days, I keep telling myself, okay, next week is the week I post my next animation, because I can't wait to put it out, because I truly feel like my next post, I maybe I'm saying this for every single post I post, but this one I feel like is going to be one of the ones I'm most proud of. By far. I can already tell it already is. It's got every flavor I love. It's got that orange-blue complementary colors. It's got that those sparks. It's got that blockbuster feeling. It's got that cloaked character, should I say? Not a giant. It's just got a and again, I like telling people, look, I'm still a huge goddamn beginner. I'm testing stuff out. I'm trying. Please don't it's kind of a dangerous game where you have that blockbuster feel, but you also feel like it's not up to par with the blockbuster Hollywood level. So I'm just I'm just trying. I'm trying my best here. I've realized along the way for my latest project, the one I'm working on right now, how incredibly hard 3D character animation is. My God, is it hard? I just even building off a reference video of just like myself doing the same exact moves I want my 3D character to be executing, to be doing. Wow. I actually had to post a gig on Upwork to find someone to actually help me out with the...
Oh, there he is.
I'm sorry. Because the 3D character animation really dictates the realism, I guess, of the piece. Really is at the center core of the piece. Really how realistically your character moves. If he moves in an awkward, non-realistic way, it really just destroys everything. It really brings down the whole piece.
Right.
So that was something that I challenged, that I tried to spend many hours doing and gave up on, being like, okay, let me actually find someone that knows what they're doing. And I'll find some other time later to improve on this. But it feels like a minor part of your project, right? Just the animation, because you have to clothe him after, you have to simulate the clothing, then you have to do the environment, and you have to do everything else. But it really is an important and key part of the project, just the animation of the characters. So it's the first thing people will notice, because people look at people moving every single day. And that also got me to appreciate Pixar level animation and big studio animations, because Jesus Christ, that thing is hard as hell.
Yeah. Well, we want to do something with you that we do with all of our guests who are on for the first time. It's called Brograph Recommends. I don't know if you caught this in the notes or not, but hopefully the last one is the hardest one. Hopefully you haven't. Not everybody has an answer for that. But we're going to go through this list here. Number one, we're going to ask you about your favorite movie.
Speed Racer, 2008.
Okay.
I don't even know if I have... Wait, it's like Speed Racer? Did they make a...
Yeah, they made a movie.
I never saw that.
Wachowski stars. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Coming off fresh from The Matrix, did the Speed Racer, and I can
Was
go
that
on.
the Wachowskis?
Wachowskis, yeah, 100%.
Wow.
I could go on and on as to why it is the best movie ever, but I don't need to get into it. But it really is a movie with so much heart, so much charm, so much, just no vanity. It's just really just a cozy, heartfelt family movie with innovative visual storytelling. And it really is a gem. A lot of people hated it, and I understand why. This movie made no money whatsoever. But what I didn't know is that there's a big fan base around the movie. This movie got a lot of like big fans, and something I was not aware of at all. They did a screening in Toronto this summer, an IMAX screening, and I didn't know about it. And then my girlfriend found it on Facebook, and we went, and there was like 150 people in the room, and just it was probably the best day of my life. It really was. Just like it was a 10-year anniversary of viewing of the movie.
John Goodman was in it.
John Goodman was in it. Suzanne
Sarandon.
Yeah.
Really?
And yeah,
I never
some
even heard
really
about
just
this.
oh man, such a great movie. Amazing.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember seeing it.
I cried. Sorry. I watched a 10-year anniversary viewing this summer, and goddamn, it takes me everything to cry at anything. Wow. And I cried during the third act. It was my third time seeing the movie, and I actually teared up a bit during the third act of the movie. And that movie's emotional, and it's just great. Yeah,
Christina Ricci.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, Christina. Oh, okay. Nice.
But it's not for everyone. But if it's your thing, you'll love it, or you'll hate it.
Now, what about your favorite music? What do you listen to, especially while you're working? You know,
Kanye, mostly Kanye. Yeah. I believe that I have really good tastes in music and also really bad taste. Bad taste because I can't move away from Kanye, but good taste because Kanye's music is so versatile. It's got so many genres of music for just one artist. He does all these kinds of rap, hip hop, just more poppy, whatever. And yeah, I've been listening to Kanye nonstop. I mean, obviously I'll listen to some pop, whatever. I'll listen to some lo-fi, whatever.
Yeah, I like that lo-fi.
Yeah, lo-fi is pretty hot right now, but I keep going back to Kanye because whatever I'm in the mood for, I'm in the mood for some uplifting stuff. I'll listen to Kanye's album, whatever, some more, whatever, Glue.
808s
whatever.
and Heartbreak.
Yeah, dude, like I'm feeling down, some 808s, whatever. But yeah, it's got such an amazing piece of work, library of work that I keep coming back to Kanye,
Yeah.
It's so different. His music is so different because he's crazy.
Like we can talk about the guy for a while, but let's just keep it to the art.
TV show. What's your favorite TV show?
The Office, by far.
Yes.
Depending on the genre, too, I would say The Office and Breaking Bad. And this is going to sound super cliche because I feel like these are obviously the best TV shows for our maybe age group, but also maybe ever for any age group. But yeah, I feel very cliche saying The Office and Breaking Bad. But come on, I mean, how can you not mention those TV shows?
Yeah, I pay $9.99 a month for The Office, basically, because it's here on Netflix. Time to watch The Office.
Yeah,
Watch the Dundies.
Oh yeah, I've seen the Dundee Awards like literally 50 times.
I never thought I would say this, but I you know what? After rewatching The Office 10 times and going to trivia nights for so many times, I honestly feel like I'm kind of like, again, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I'm over it. I you know what? I can't rewatch it again. I just like, I know every single line. I just there's no surprise at this point. It's just like, all right, I got to give it a couple of years break. And then just maybe come back to it much later.
And maybe watch the later ones that you don't watch as much, because Michael isn't on anymore. So you kind of, some of them were okay. It's just you get that thing. It's like, well, Michael's not on. I don't want to watch this season. But there are some good ones.
Yeah, Rainn Wilson, actor that plays Dwight, said how he believes that he had some of their best episodes after Michael left. I'm tempted to disagree, but
I think there were a lot of good episodes. Of course, I didn't watch after, like I didn't see from when Michael left up until last year or this year.
Gotcha.
This year, yeah.
There were some good ones. There's some good ones, but I hate Andy. That's the problem. I can't stand Andy. Like, that whole thing with Andy, if they would have put someone else, like when they brought in Will Ferrell, here's what I thought was going to happen. I thought that Will Ferrell was going to be the permanent new boss, and he was going to be an absolute funny goofball. And the fact that they made him like a mean person really pissed me off.
Will Ferrell, you like him or you hate him, or something personally. Surprisingly, I loved him. I love D'Angelo. Yeah. I don't know
Oh
why.
yes.
It's the dry humor. It's something about just the juggling scene with the invisible juggling balls. Gets me so hard every single time. There are some classic moments from Will Ferrell, and I'm happy that he just stayed 2 episodes. There was just a perfect short-lived transition to Robert California.
I love Robert California.
California's great.
Yeah.
He's
They're
great.
so good.
Troy in the chat room, some of The Office is coming back. I've heard rumors, but it's
no, it's not. Yeah, rumors. Yeah.
Carell was on SNL a couple weeks ago, and of course, all the audience members started standing up and asking, "When is The Office gonna come back?" And
they're like,
it was,
"I really need the money."
yeah, and it was all people from The Office that were asking the question, and it sounds like everybody's on board. To me, it sounds like Carell is the one who doesn't want to do it. But
well, first of all,
NBC
wants to do it. Greg Daniels, and Michael Schur, the creator, doesn't really want to do it. They want to wait it out. They just want to wait, I guess. I don't know why, but really, NBC really wants it. Steve Carell keeps saying how it wouldn't work to bring it back. People remember The Office for its good old days. People tend to forget Office season 9. Let's not forget that The Office was not really what it used to be in season 9.
True.
And that they tied up the story, they wrapped up the story really nicely, and that's just how it should be. That's how it should be left. They should, if they want to start back The Office, bring a whole new cast and use the name for marketing purposes. But that's going to be weird. That's going to be
like
weird.
Saved by the Bell college years.
And also Steve Carell was saying how
season 9.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Sage says, it's going to be Krasinski and Steve Carell that are hard to do because they're super famous now in other areas. You know.
Yeah, I mean, Krasinski wants to do a Christmas special, and that I would love to see.
That's okay. Yes. What if they did one Christmas special every year, and it was just like that? You don't have to have a whole series or a whole season, just one a year or something.
100%. But also, Steve Carell said something I didn't think about, is that he said The Office wouldn't work as well today as it did a couple of years ago. Maybe because of the PC culture. Maybe because of they did say there were some semi-edgy, offensive jokes in the show about maybe gay people or at the expense of Oscar or racist him. Michael saying he has a boner to Phyllis. Those kind of jokes wouldn't go.
That's the funniest line.
I know, but for the time it aired, it was amazing.
But it's not like the thing is he's a character. It's not like it's a person on a live show saying something actually offensive. The character, that's the whole point. It's like Cartman, for example. He's 8, and so he says these awful things because he doesn't understand, you know. And it's not offensive in that way. It's like, no, you don't understand. Like, that's the whole point. Is this character doesn't understand.
Be careful. You're speaking for yourself, but there are some people out there with big long teeth, and they're just ready to just do some damage.
Yeah. Even if it's the fact that the character doesn't understand. You know, because to me, it raises awareness of people who are intolerant of certain things. But, you know, again, that's my opinion. I think they should bring it back, though. Just at least once. At least one, like one show, like a reunion show. That's not.
Yeah, a reunion show would be wonderful. Dude, I say personally, just leave it as is.
Yeah, the Brady Bunch reunion that they did for the Christmas episode. Have you watched it lately? It is all 80s hair, like perms and stuff. It is super dated. Yeah, no, it's awful.
And
I tried putting it on the other day, and I'm like,
Seinfeld
no.
Seinfeld is outdated, of course, because everything is like, oh, well, if they just would have had a cell phone, this wouldn't have been an issue. But it's still fun to watch.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one. Favorite podcast. Do you listen to podcasts, really? Do you like when you're working or?
Oh, for real. I very much agree with what Andrew Price said a couple years ago at one of the Blender conference talk. Whatever he's doing is like he likes to work actively, likes to be 100% focused on his work. No music, no podcast, 100% focused. And I agreed with that mentality for so long, and I was that guy for the longest time. No music, just pure quietness. And recently, I've been starting to get into really redundant and repetitive tasks. If I'm talking about selection, if I'm talking about rotoscoping, I need something in the background. I'm going to rotoscoping, right? For sure. So yeah, it really depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing something redundant, my go-to will be Marin, What the Fuck podcast, and Bill Burr, and then will be right after Chris D'Elia. And then right after will be, I guess I like comedians. And then, yeah, I think that's about it. My three go-tos. Yeah, but I keep discovering new podcasts. I like Casey Neistat's podcast.
Oh yeah,
I want to give it a try. But yeah, it's just I think it's about discovering podcasts. I feel like there's so many podcasts that are just like will really interest me. But I work from home. I don't commute, so I've got so much time to actually consume podcasts. Really,
I got very behind when I stopped commuting. Like I got very behind, and then I stopped listening to some, and I've caught up on a few. But it's like you forget to turn it on when you're in the car. I mean, every time I get in the car, I'm like, oh, I'm put on podcast. But then around the house, I forget, and so I get behind.
I personally, I love Bill Burr. The thing is, I don't care at all for sports. I don't watch sports, and yet he'll talk so much about sports in his podcasts, and I can just listen to him talk about whatever, and I'll be entertained.
Yeah, it's just like Merlin Mann when he talks about comic books. I'm like, but he's still so witty that I still listen to it.
True, yeah.
But, all right.
Speaking of like listening to stuff in the car, so Amy and I were driving back from Waco to go visit Santa Claus this past week. He's fine.
Is he good?
You know,
okay, good.
He's got diabetes apparently.
Oh, well, it's understandable. There's a lot of cookies.
Right. So there's this really good book that we've been listening to. It's called What If. It's by the guy who the guy who does the comic XKCD, you know?
Yeah.
And so he was like really big into like physics and stuff like that. And so they'd have people ask these really ridiculous questions like, you know, what would happen if every single person got together in one place and then jumped at the same time, you know? Like he answers these questions, these really like weird and crazy questions, and it is the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, I've seen that comic. Yeah.
Totally recommend it.
Yeah, 100%. Gotcha.
So what would happen if everybody jumped at the same time?
Well, he said if everyone was like magically transported to Rhode Island, because Rhode Island could hold the entire population of the world, right?
Okay.
And they all jumped at the exact same time, basically nothing would happen. Right? You might get a tiny little rumble, but it's the aftermath of everyone trying to get out of Rhode Island that would cause mass panic and mass chaos.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So,
plugin. Do you have a plugin that's a go-to plugin?
Right now, I don't know, but 2016 me would say Element 3D because that was my perfect transition to 3D. 2016 me was just like, let me try to make the most out of Element 3D. I was just an After Effects guy, never touched a 3D software in my life. Thank God for Video Copilot. Thank God for Andrew Kramer.
Yeah.
I just spent so much money on Video Copilot, insane. So much of their packs, texture pro shaders, have their metropolitan city. I just bought that stuff. And but right now too, 3D Justin 2018 Octane. I mean, obviously, but plugin. I'm really liking X Particles right now. I only have like 2 months of playing around with experience, kind of. But I see a future. I see a future of me using that a lot. I know you'll see it on my next post. And I feel like I've actually made a really good use of it. It's a bit of a cliche X particle usage of it because I'm dealing with some kind of like magic turbulence kind of thing. But I feel like it's a very easy go-to use of particles, X particles. But I'm loving it. I'm loving the particles. So I'm loving the plugin. I would say that's my go-to plugin right now. Yeah, I don't use that many plugins in After Effects anymore. I love Red Giant Universe. It's got a whole bunch of neat plugins for post-production, which is neat. A bit too expensive for my taste though, because I don't see myself using 99% of these. Their plugins.
That's my deal too.
You have to buy the full suit and then pay $99 per year, and
for like the one plugin you're going to use on that one project.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you know, if you can write it off for that one project, then you got it for another year.
Yeah, for sure. But
unless the year starts like from when you bought it initially and doesn't upgrade.
Oh, don't get me started.
definitely.
For real. But to their defense, though, the one I used to is the VHS.
I think that's what everyone
I know.
uses. Is
right?
The VHS
Really?
filter.
I had no
Yeah.
idea. Really, that makes sense because it's really solid. It's really solid. Yeah,
I
makes
feel
sense.
like if they sold that for $9.99, that they would make more money off of that. Just standalone.
No, because
For
that's
real.
why they sell it for $99 a year,
Yes,
only for the
so you can get
VHS filter.
VHS.
Yeah.
That's the fight,
So that you
for real.
can do what everybody else does and put fake VHS on everything.
There you go, Dave. Hey, that's our next plugin. We'll just make the VHS filter and sell it for $25.
Yeah, we'll have to call it something else. We'll call it like 3/4 inch,
VHS-C.
3/4 inch U-matic. Yeah, VHS-C.
Yeah.
There you go.
8mm, digital 8.
Yeah, digital 8, regular 8.
Mini DV.
There you go.
Yeah.
Called Mini DV. Yeah.
Mini DV.
Oh,
Yeah,
by
it's
the way,
just a bunch of glitches.
I'm loving Turbulence FD. I've been playing with Turbulence FD for a year now. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so solid.
Yeah.
I can't wait for
Yeah.
my new. Well, I bought all the parts of my new computer, but I can't wait to get my new CPU this week and
Yeah.
test out Turbulence FD with it.
What'd you
It's
get?
gonna be rocking solid. You know what? I knew you were gonna ask me that, and I actually genuinely forgot. It's a 9.9. I can look it up really quickly because if anyone wants to take
Is that
notes,
Intel or AMD?
Intel i9.
Okay.
Oh,
an i9. Very
yeah.
Nice.
i9 9900 9900K. It's an 8-core 3.6 gigahertz. It should rock a pretty solid octane bench. And is octane bench just
No,
on GPU?
that'd be
GPU, right?
Cinebench.
Yeah,
Cinebench.
Cinebench, thank you. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
But
It's a 5.0 gigahertz, 8-core. Jeez, dude, that's
Yes,
gonna be
it's
killer.
Nice.
yeah, I mean AMD Threadripper is doing
Yeah.
amazing things right now. Definitely check those out. But you're sitting apparently. Well, I'm playing a bit of PUBG these days, so apparently PUBG has a lot of, as you would expect, PUBG has some bugs, and one of those bugs is compatibility with AMD processors. So
Interesting.
that's it's the
weird.
dumbest thing, but that's what got me to actually go
Why?
with Intel. Well, because PUBG, because Bluehole. That's why. That's all.
Hmm.
End of conversation.
Huh. All right, let's see. Yeah, were you talking to Sage about your build?
How do you know? That's so
Well,
funny.
he just wrote it in the chat.
Sage helps everyone.
Hi, dude. Yeah, I appreciate, really grateful for Sage's help. He was incredibly helpful to help me build. Well, basically, I started with the list he put up on his website. He has for anyone that's curious, you can just go on the Symbol40 subreddit, and I'm sure the link is in the sidebar. And he has like a bunch of builds for like starting with the ramen build for like any like obvious, and then down to like money is no object kind of thing.
Did you
The
use his links?
sagery.com/builds.
Yes, the sagery.com/builds. If you
So
wanna...
I started with the author build, and then with the help of Sage, we customize it, bring it down to my budget. I'd say down because my god, it cost a pretty penny. But I'm also paying in Canadian dollars, so so that was a pretty penny. That was about that was a bit more than $4,000, and I've not
4,000 loonies. We lose you?
Uh-oh.
Frozen on my side?
Yeah, it's frozen on both sides.
Oh no! Canadian pesos.
He froze earlier, but it came back. He's not coming back.
Justin, are you there?
Coming back,
Oh no.
man.
Oh, there you are.
There you are.
Sorry, guys. No,
All
what
right.
happened there?
That's
All
Skype
right.
for you. You know, it's all
Christ,
good.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I'll just continue. So it was a pretty penny, $4,000, but and I'm considering an investment. I mean, at this price, you have to consider an investment because, like I said, I haven't made any money yet from this.
Yeah.
But this will definitely be a good because that's the thing. Working fast is really an amazing motivator. For anyone listening right now, it's such a great motivator to actually just do work by itself. When you start seeing the result you get extremely fast, it's extremely gratifying. You just work faster, your workflow is faster. It's really encouraging you to, when it just like starts to the point where I can't even imagine 10 years ago doing 3D just to get a small little reward of what you're working on right now. Render like 10 minutes.
2D and After Effects and stuff like that was awful.
Oh my god, yeah, right.
If you did a simple keyframe in Final Cut Pro, where one thing was moving across the screen, that'd take you 10 hours to render.
insane. It was insane.
Stupid.
So,
Sage, by the way, Sage was really helpful with my build, and I need to post my final build because I have it listed, but I've sent it to so many people. They're like, I want to build a system. I don't know what I want, but they're in a similar field.
But your system was basically my system.
It was, but there were some modifications that we did to it a lot in the Slack channel. A lot of people helped me. Okay, they're like, okay, switch this out for this thing, get this RAM instead. And so I really got it. I mean, I love this build. Like, if I were going to build another one right now, I'd do the same thing. Maybe look for the more expensive, the newer processor.
The more expensive Threadripper, yeah.
But you know, I've sent this to other people who are in the like doing very similar things. I'm like, you want a good, affordable system? Bam, like do this list right here.
Yep.
And I've got some friends that have been building it based on that. Maybe they'll change one or two things, but you know, the basis for that though is all Sage.
Yeah.
The basis for all our systems was Sage.
Yep.
So
yeah, it was an amazing list. I'm very grateful for it. Thank God. I still posted the build that I think his build. I posted the build the PC subreddit. Anyone that needs help that's listening right now, go and build the PC subreddit. They're immensely helpful there. And every time whatever build I come up with, whoever helped me, I'll still post it there just to get a second opinion and whatnot. And very helpful there. But yeah, can't wait to get it. It's going to be dope. And you know what? If I would just say to anyone listening right now that wants to get into 3D, I used to think that having a faster computer didn't really mean better end result, because you're going to end up at the same place, just slower on a slower machine. Well, here's the thing. What took me an embarrassingly long time to realize is that no, that's absolutely false. Here's the thing: you want to get a preview of whatever you're working on right now, right? And it's going to take a while to render because there's some simulation going on, cached and stuff. Let's say it takes you an hour. You want to do an actual test render with low samples of what you're working on right now. Let's say it takes you 5 hours. All right, you wait 5 hours. If after 5 hours you look at the result, you're like, oh, actually, this wasn't that great. Something's off. This is off. This is off. And like, okay, let me change this. Okay, now you've changed it. Are you going to start another 5 hour test render to see how it looks like? Well, if you have a faster machine, you're going to say, yes, of course. Half an hour, half an hour later, oh, this still looks off. And then you perfect it. You do another test render until you perfect it. And that time you spend perfecting it and doing the test renders, it's going to be very minimal compared to a slower machine. And you're going to get to a better result faster. And that took me a long time to realize. I kept thinking that, you know, slower machine will just get me same place, just slower. And that's not technically true. You'll just do more iterations because it's just faster to do every iteration of your tests, or whatever you're putting out the result. Yeah.
So the rest of the list here on recommends. What about headphones? I'm
rocking the V Modas right now. I love these headphones. I'm not a big headphone guy personally. Whatever. My girlfriend got some Beats 3 years ago. She bought a MacBook. She got some Beats for free, Beats One or something like that.
If they're free.
And, my God,
it's about all they're worth.
You get what you pay for, and boy, were these free, and so free in a terrible way. It's a rubber. Literally, I was just wearing them. I was not bringing them anywhere. I was literally just wearing them 8 hours a day on my desk. End of my day, I put them on next to me, and the next day I do the same thing over and over. A year, not even a year in, maybe 8 months in, the actual rubber and just parts were coming off, were literally coming off, torn apart. And you know,
they have a very high return rate at Apple, by the way.
You know, I'm sure the most expensive models are better. I hope so. But,
it was a status symbol. It was just a fashion statement. That's all it was.
For sure. I mean, that's pretty much what all headphones are nowadays, unless you're getting some Sennheisers or whatever. But
the Bose.
Bose.
Comfort.
Sorry, my girlfriend literally just bought last week some Bluetooth headphones, and boy, do they look great, and they sound a bit like a canny inside of a can, but boy, do they look great. And you know what, I would rock them. I would just wear them. They look really great. But I love the V Modas. Great shape, good sound, kind of affordable, about $250, and rocking those.
You use them for gaming too?
Use them for everything.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Favorite website or Chrome extension? Your pick.
Website. Kind of funny nowadays, favorite website, because Aren't we all on Reddit? Aren't we all?
Right.
Where do you land? Like, where do you open your, besides going to your email, like, where else do you go online? Facebook?
Yeah, not really. I mean, like most people, I have a very, I guess, the average Redditor kind of like browsing experience where like Gmail, Reddit, and then a bit of Facebook.
I didn't realize what time it is. I gotta leave in 5 minutes.
Oh, geez. All right.
Yeah. I gotta go pick up my kid.
Is it really? Oh, wow. It's late.
Yeah,
Whoops.
dude.
Okay. Well, let's see here then. Then we'll go to, we'll just skip right to life hack so we can get out of here.
What's your favorite life hack?
Life hack.
Oh, for real? Oh,
yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one, I know.
Okay, I wish I would have thought of this one before.
Okay, why don't you think about it for a second while I go over the links? How about that?
Absolutely. Go for it.
All right. Real quick.
I might just look at the life hacks of Reddit in the meantime.
There you go. The links that I got today, The Future came out with an article called How to Get More Clients. I think that's a good read. Cool. Check that out. Brian Talkish came out with another one.
Oh, yeah?
He did another one. So check out his Instagram. We'll post a link to that. And Nick Campbell, Grayscale Gorilla, he finally switched to PC and got a rig going, and there's Instagram on that. I think they did a podcast all about the Switch. And awesome. Real quick on the game VR front, I wanted to mention that Brandon Clements just came out with another video, and I put this in the game front because it's about Unity, but he said convert your old Unity project from built-in render to high-definition render pipeline. He just posted that to our Brograph page yesterday. Also,
see, I told Brian that he should have done this. Like this, I was telling him he needs to do a fire and an ice one. That's awesome. That looks so good.
Also, this was just interesting. Apparently people are so into Fortnite that they figured this out. There's a spectrogram within some sound in Fortnite where it does this little logo to where if you look at it on a spectrogram, it forms an image. I'll try and put a link to that in the notes as well. And then I also, again, wanted to meet up just to mention, I really do want to get like a Brograph Grand Theft Auto PC thing going. We got everybody's names. We got a pinned thread in the game channel on our Slack channel where you can share your Steam name. And maybe even this afternoon or evening, I would love to just take a little break and shoot some hookers.
Oh my god. You're so fired.
Like you do. No, I really do. Like come, let's hang out. I'll show you all my sweet gear that I bought. And yeah.
He just wants to show off all of his toys that he's paid way too much money in Grand Theft Auto for.
All right, what do you think? Life hack.
Yeah, sorry, I can't think of anything. I really can't.
That's all right.
That's all right. That's all right.
That's all right.
I don't think we have time for Beeple's people because Matt's got to get out of here. But
I got to get out of here.
Save them on the list for next week because they were pretty good. So we're gonna get out of here. We appreciate you being on. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks a ton for having me. Seriously, really appreciate it. Most chill podcasts I've done so far. Thanks, so far, there's gonna be more hopefully. But yeah, no, most chill. Really appreciate you guys. Love your work. I love the Brograph Luminous. Not trying to not trying to like just pat you guys up, pat you on the back too much, but really
the new upgrade. We're gonna update this, and it's gonna be amazing.
It'll be the 2.0.
But I've honestly used it in every single project. Maybe not the last one I'm working on right now, but every single project since then, for like the last couple months, last year or so. Great product, seriously.
Well, 2018 is getting its own spotlight, so we're working on an update that actually makes sense to go along with that. So,
cool. But I love the Gizmo system, by the way, you have. It's just genius all around. Really love it.
Oh, with the gobos and stuff?
Did I say Gizmo? The Gobos?
Yeah. Also wanted to mention that. Oh crap! What was I going to mention? Oh, I lost it. It was really important too.
RTX, the Voltos or the Titans came out. That's a whole nother conversation.
Oh gosh, we didn't even get to the Titans.
Nope. Sorry, dude.
Man. All right. Well, we got a lot of other stuff we got to get to.
Yep.
Yeah. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review. You can also subscribe. Oh, I know what I was going to say. There's a schedule on Brograph.com now. You can check out our upcoming schedule.
Super
ghetto. We'll make it look pretty later, but it's just out there. We've got Raphael Rao on next week, followed by the following week. It'll be EJ. EJ's going to be on the show again.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, no, wait, cool.
Yeah, so we got some other people coming up, so you can check out the schedule if you want to see that. All the times are listed as central, and our time on there usually is our call-in time, and you usually go on live about half an hour after that. So You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review. You can also subscribe to our newsletter and subscribe to our show. It helps get our ratings up. You can say you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt with the No Brograph tee, the limited edition Gaten Simone shirt, which is still out there. It's limited, though. The Feel the Bab 2020 shirt, all the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. And then the Render Things hoodie and t-shirt, which I'm wearing right now. Which I don't know if you can see. Render Things, that's available there. You can also just search for Brograph on Amazon, and you can find that. Of course, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Brograph.com, Twitch, and all the other places you can imagine.
Justin, where can people find you?
Instagram, baby. That's where I'm at. As people keep asking me, where can I find your portfolio? It's all there. It's really there. I'm on Instagram. This is what it is. Yeah, I'm not. People start following me on YouTube. People follow me on Twitter. I'm not there. You can follow me there if you want for fun, but I won't be posting there too much. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks a ton for having me again.
Yeah.
Really
Thanks,
appreciate
man.
it.
Yeah, it was fun. All right, we're gonna get out of here until next week. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt. And
I'm Justin.
Have a good one.
Later, bros.
All right. Still live. Go ahead and stop your recording, but we'll stay live here for a second.
Crap, I was going to say, and I've got more followers than people. I forgot I was going to say that.
What episode is this? 161?
So much for planning jokes.
161. So if you want to send the file over in Dropbox or whatever you use, and just send it to my email address. I know it'll probably take a bit to upload. It's probably going to be a couple gig, but if you have any issues, just let me know. And
yeah, let me just see. Ain't too bad. It's just 200 megabytes.
Oh, okay. Is it like an M4A or something?
M4A.
Okay, that's fine. That'll work. It all gets compressed in the end anyway, right?
That should.
All right, I'm out.
All right.
Justin, thanks a lot, man. It was great.
So nice talking to you.
All right.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Take care.
Take care.